Talking Ball Y'all Media proudly brings to you Friday Night Gridiron, powered by Diamond Productions. Their motto is, we don't set the bar, we raise it. Now let's head out to the stadium and join the voice of the Maroon Tide, Clay Sweet and Ricky Whitaker.
Welcome in to homecoming tonight on the campus of Picayune Memorial High School on a beautiful mid-October Friday night, and the pageantry that comes with homecoming on full display here on our Mossy Picayune pregame show. I'm Clay Sweet. To my right, as usual, Ricky Whitaker going to provide color analysis, going to guide us through the halftime show and much more that we ask him to do each and every Friday night. Always thankful and grateful to be partnered with him on these calls and privileged to call Picayune Maroon Tide football district action here, and we get into that a little bit with Cody, all of the distractions that come with homecoming. Sometimes as a coach you try to avoid it being a district ball game, but with just 4 home games, Rick, it was unavoidable. So the Hawks from Hancock come over, a pretty short trip, but a high-stakes ball game as Hancock's won 2 in a row. They're 1-0 in district play. More importantly, is at 1-0 in district play. And welcome into the broadcast, my friend. We've got a good one in front of us tonight.
Yeah, we do, man. Always a privilege to be next to you up here in the booth. And going to be a really, really nice night for football. 75 degrees is what we're looking at kickoff, Clay. Not any signs of wind. Look at this backdrop. This sky, just beautiful, man. Got some nice colors in the sky. Just a really good backdrop for homecoming tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be a perfect night here in Picayune. We're thankful for that. Going to be a great crowd. Already a pretty good crowd gathering across the way. Of course, we're atop the visitors' press box here on our home setting. Jackson Harrelson up top in the crow's nest, bringing you awesome video of tonight's ball game. If you're taking it in on the live stream on our YouTube channel, you could really help us out by sharing that with family and friends. And we certainly appreciate you choosing us tonight on this Friday night. And, Rick, let's get right into it. In our second segment, we'll have the interview with Coach Stagner, and we'll also have our tell of the tape. But kind of set the stage in what you've seen from Hancock in your early film study. I know you like to certainly get a look at the opponent and a good detailed look at them. And we had an interview, of course, with Coach King, who always is fun to visit with, giving us some insight. What have you kind of heard and seen about this Hancock club?
Well, it's really simple for the Maroon Tide tonight, Clay. You know, if you take the spark plug out of an engine, the engine is not going to turn over. It just won't work. And that's their quarterback. That's Kason Kanan. He is that spark plug of this offense. You look at his numbers. He's a good-looking kid, 6'3", 185. He's got 900 yards on the ground for 11 touchdowns. He's got 1,100 yards passing, 9 touchdowns through the air. So he's over 2,000 yards and has a chance to actually be 1,000 yards rushing and passing on the year. That's a pretty difficult thing to do. He's completed 61% of his passes. He does have 5 turnovers, but this offense at Hancock runs, we see we call everything spread now, right? We see it every week. But this is that true air raid offense, and it's going to be a little bit different. It really has 3 fundamental beliefs that make it work, and the first one is tempo. We're going to see a high tempo tonight from Hancock, high percentage passes. So they make sure that the passes they're throwing are simple route combinations to try to attack the defense. And that final thing is everybody touches the ball. And as we go through and look at some of these players, you're going to see that. What stands out about Kanan the most is he's got 114 yards rushing on scramble plays, meaning these are design passes that he gets out on. He's only been sacked 3 times, so he gets rid of it quick, or he's able to elude. And 54%, Clay, of their run plays, they are design quarterback runs. We're talking about counters, leads, draws, sweeps. And what I think we're going to see a lot tonight, we'll see empty backfield sets, a lot of different sets, but I think we'll primarily see what we'll call a split backfield set. That's going to be a back set to each hip of Kanan in the backfield. At times we'll see 3 wide receivers. At times we'll see 2 with a tight end, but they could operate everything that they like to do out of that set. The zone read, the split zone, the RPO and those quarterback runs. We'll see all of that out of this offense. We talked about the players that touch the ball. 7 players have touched it on offense. They've combined for 434 on the ground. 6 players have double-digit catches. So you gotta really look for everybody, but that spark plug is Kanan. He's the one that's going to make it all go.
Yeah, Kanan's such a talented kid. We got a full dose of him a year ago in a game that was in balance really late. Hancock played Picayune tough a year ago. Hancock's undergone a coaching change, and really that benefited the Maroon Tide. I'm a close family friend of the Lawler, so I'm going to be just up front and honest with our listeners on the front end of this broadcast. He's come over, and he's helping the Maroon Tide in numerous ways. He's now special teams. He's helping with the linebackers, but also a friend of Coach King, and Coach King's been gracious with his time. I think on 3 different occasions he was that way on the front end of the week. And so that's just a bit of a disclaimer before we get going tonight. We'll take a 2-minute timeout here on our Mossy of Picayune pregame show. When we return, we'll hear from Coach Stagner, get his thoughts on this ball game, and then also in that same segment, we'll get the tale of the tape.
Thanks for stopping by Mossy of Picayune. We're proud to be your family-owned GM Superstore, serving Mississippi and Louisiana with new and used cars, trucks, and SUVs. Here, you're more than just a customer, you're part of the Mossy family. We offer a family-friendly atmosphere backed by GM-certified parts and service and a team that's here to help you every step of the way. At Mossy of Picayune, it's small-town friendly service with big-time savings.
Tucked away in the woodlands of Pearl River County is where you will find the Henry Smith House and its sister property, River Oak Manor. From an elegant Victorian estate to a sleek, cozy farmhouse, these 2 stunning venues are perfect for weddings, events, or a weekend escape. The properties offer serenity with a genuine and unique experience among pristinely beautiful grounds. Experience southern charm, modern comfort, and unforgettable moments, all in one gorgeous destination. River Oak Manor is breaking ground for continued expansion for wedding and event accommodations and are booking reservations for 2026 and beyond. Visit bearriveroakmanor.com and start planning for your perfect getaway today.
Let's hear from Cody Stagner here on our Mossy of Picayune pregame show. The Mossy of Picayune pregame show, standing by with Cody Stagner, about an hour out from kickoff. And Cody, a district opponent coming in 1-1 or 1-0 are the Hancock Hawks and homecoming. And so you've got, it seems like every week we talk about some distractions to kind of deal with. What's practice been like this week?
Yeah, I like to find out whoever made the schedule and, maybe give them a few words and maybe a little knock on the side of the head. But, it is what it is. It's just, lack of home games this year. We had to have a homecoming at some point. And, I'm never really excited about homecoming events or homecoming games because it's just added distractions. And, it doesn't get any easier tonight with the Hancock Hawk team who's scary good right now. We tried our hardest to just eliminate distractions this week. We're dealing with 15 through 18-year-old boys. And so I just hope we handled them as best as we could and just come out and play and execute everything we prepared for this week and everything they were coached to do this week. But I like how we prepared. I mean, there wasn't, when we were out here from the time from about 2:30 till about 5 o'clock, it was business, and I'm just really proud of that. So hopefully it correlates into some good football tonight.
Cody, it's going to sound funny because of kind of how their season ended, but I really thought their quarterback, who's going to come back, we'll get a chance to see him again tonight. I thought he put one of the better performances up against us last year. Certainly has our defense's attention, Mr. Kanan on the other side.
Well, he's the scariest player in this district. I mean, I've had nightmares every night this week about him. I mean, the dude can flat out play football, and you got to account for him. I mean, he can do so many different things to hurt you, and he's an impact player. So when you have an impact player on the other side, you got to figure, you got to be on top of your game, and And we always know that everybody's going to play us the best, and so that's a compliment to our guys and the success they've had. But man, he's a good one, and we got a workout up for us, that's for sure.
Cody, how do you kind of explain the defense? We look at it, Popperville, an incredible second half. Pascagoula last week, an incredible second half. How do we get that unit to kind of put those 4 quarters together?
That's a good question. I think if I had to answer that, I could probably sell a book or two. But I just think it comes down to is just having that want-to mindset of wanting to get your job done, do your job, do everything your coach should do from the moment the ball's kicked off. We walked out of the locker room. I said, hey, we're not just trying to go 1-0 tonight. We're trying to go 4-0. I want to win every quarter. We're not trying to win the first half. We're not trying to win the second half. We want to make sure we win every quarter. So our goal tonight is to try to go 4-0 tonight, and that's winning all 3 phases of the game: offense, defense, special teams. And I challenged our guys. I challenged them and say, we got to get off the field, and we got to put points on the board every time we get it. So, I challenged them, and I told them, prove me wrong, prove everybody else wrong when, the critics and all that. So I like the looks on their face when we come out of that locker room. So I'm really excited to see when that ball gets kicked off.
Coach, when you go back and look at film, we're looking at Eddie Cruz and the operation here for extra point and field goals in front of us. Rayburn was probably on the field, 6 or 7 plays the other night, all of those being extra points or field goals. He made 2 of the bigger plays in that ball game. What a point it proves that every little piece matters.
Everything, all 111. Where we talked about the 111. Everybody's got to do their job. One person does their job, all 11 pieces work. One person doesn't, the machine breaks down. And those 2 holes the other night, to me, were the plays of the game. I mean, we obviously the 41-yard field goal from it, but if we don't get that down, it might be a different story. We might be, in a different situation at the end of the game. But, Eddie's just getting better and better. I mean, every day in practice, he hit the crossbar on 56-yard field goals the other day in practice with the wind in his face. So he's kicking it off the ground now. So he's just going to get better and better, but he's a good weapon to have. He's won us now, 2 football games just on big field goals. So, but that's a good little unit right there. 2 sophomores and a junior, so we get to have them for another year, and 2 of them for two more years. So, that's key. That's part of the game, and that's what we talked about, the 3 phases, and that's one phase I'm really excited about. And right now, how we're playing is we are taking care of business in the kicking game.
Cody, you're a collegiate offensive lineman in your past. Can you imagine blocking all the way down and then going back there and kicking a field goal at the end of it? That's just a different look. He's got the body and the athleticism to do it, but kind of speak to the concentration that takes.
It's hard. People don't understand what kind of job he's entitled to do. And, you exert a lot of energy trying to move mass from the other side of you and then get downfield on safety the way we run our offense. And that's just the credit to him. Would I have loved to do it? I would have tried it. But I wouldn't have done it to do it. I'd have toe punched that thing, and it probably hit somebody in the back of the head. But, it really makes it more remarkable when you think about what he's done for the 10, 12-play drives we have won, and then go in there and kick an extra point. So, just all the credit goes to him. He's just, that's the player and Edgar. And the thing is, though, he knows it's his job, and he takes a lot of pride in it.
He does. Cody, last question. What have you liked out of your offense here so far this season? The rushing yardage is pretty much on par for our really good seasons, which is what we want to keep stacking up. What do you like about that rush game so far?
Well, we're getting better and better every week. I talked to Zay earlier today, though. I think he's left about 300 yards on the field trying to make cuts when he didn't have to make cuts and getting tackled down instead of just putting his nose down and getting those 2 or 3 extra yards. So, we preach to him all week, hey, if it's not there, go ahead and lower your shoulder. Let's get 2 extra yards. Let's get those 3 yards and move on to the next play instead of getting tackled when you could have maybe got those. So, that's why I joked when I said, you probably have done 1,000 yards by now on some of those cuts you don't make. But obviously, now he's made some cuts that obviously, it's good coaching on those parts.
Right, yeah.
But we aren't where we need. We aren't all the way where we need to be yet. We're still not clicking on all cylinders, but we're working toward that. We're going to get there.
Good luck, Coach. Thank you.
Thank you. Roll Tide.
So Ricky Whitaker get a chance to hear from Cody Stagner, and one of my favorite segments each and every week is kind of get your thoughts on what you heard there out of our head football coach, Cody Stagner.
I think a lot of the things that Coach Stagner said we'll cover when we go to the tail of the tape, but the one thing that I'm going to jump to that he said is the special teams play. It's kind of funny, man. I got a chance to catch up with Eddie Cruz before the game. Eddie and Mitchell were stretching together as the specialty group guys came out, receivers and running backs, and I said, Eddie, you going to be good from 50 tonight? And I think Mitchell said, he's got 56, 57 in him. I was like, all right. But Eddie was big last night, and And special teams, for whatever reason, Clay, this is like the year of the onside kick. It's like, and we see it every week now. I don't know if your kids have been doing it. We finally figured out, it was on the Today Show. The kids have been saying 6-7, 6-7 all the time. Nobody knew what it was. Savannah Guthrie didn't even have a clue. So it's one of those things where it's a trend that kids are doing now, these onside kicks. And I said that because last week against Pearl River Central, it's a 7-7 ball game. Hancock comes and hits an onside kick. Things like that can turn the tide and the momentum of a game, especially given how these games have been really close for the Maroon Tide.
Yeah, it'll be interesting as we turn our attention now to the tail of the tape and let Ricky Whitaker kind of diagnose further some of these numbers in this graphic that he's been able to put up. Before we speak to those numbers, Rick, on our tail of the tape, the Talking Ball and Y'all tail of the tape, Kinsley Graves announced as the homecoming queen today. Mr. Tide was announced earlier in the day at the pep rally, and that was none other than our QB1, Colt Robertson, Mr. Tide. And so here's a look at that fine graphic put together by you, Rick. Kind of walk us through these numbers and what a couple of these numbers that maybe stand out to you.
Well, the biggest thing, Clay, is look at the points scored and points allowed for both teams. They're pretty close. We've got a 4-point advantage in our favor. Hancock's got a 3-point disadvantage in their scoring. And for Hancock, it really comes down to the past 2 weeks of ball against Bay High and against Pearl River Central. They've scored over 40 points. They shut Bay High out, so that's padded their numbers a little bit. Look, Hancock's played a couple of tough 7A schools to start the season, and they got in a basketball match with Poplarville. I mean, 54 against Poplarville is pretty impressive in itself. So we know their offense can score. And look at their balance. Their rushing yards, 223, right at 200 yards on the ground. And they're moving it around to a lot of people. But, again, we've mentioned it's Canaan that's really driving all of that stuff. But when you look at Picayune's defense and why we've won games that have been close games, look at the sacks. Look at the takeaways. We're up to 14 takeaways now as a group, 6 interceptions. Both Jamari and Jabari have 2 apiece, and then Cam Quinn has 2, and then the rest have been fumble recoveries. You look on Hancock's side, I think that could be the difference tonight. They've turned it over 5 times. They've only had 1 takeaway. So Hancock can certainly give it away, and the Maroon Tide can certainly take it from you. That, I think, is going to be key tonight. But I think what I'm looking for from the Maroon Tide, Clay, is, as Cody mentioned, as you and I have talked about at nauseum, not just on the air, but just in our regular casual friend conversations during the week, we're used to seeing the Maroon Tide dominate a game. We haven't seen it yet. I felt like we've kind of survived games. We've outplayed. Now, we've done what we needed to do. You take those takeaways away, it might be different, right? But that's the difference in what we've done. We've given up a lot of points, but we've found ways to take it away. And we got to get off to a good start and try to see if we can pull away and have an opportunity to play 4 really good quarters. And it's going to be a good test tonight against a really good Hancock team.
Yeah, I always bring up when you see a team with this kind of turnovers, the team that stands out to me is the Saints' Lawn Super Bowl. They had the Dome Patrol for years that were so stingy and so really good defensively, didn't have anything to show for it, kind of had a middle-of-the-road defense for that Super Bowl team, but the one thing they did were they were top 5 in the NFL in takeaways. So you can bend, do not break, and even break some, but if you're able to add 2, 3 plus possessions inside of a ball game, boy, that is a huge deal.
Yeah, and you look at it, Clay, I mean, you would think if you see that many takeaways, that margin of victory is going to be a lot bigger, but it hasn't been. Now, that's not to take anything away from the talent that Coach Stagner and his staff always schedule for Picayune. We've played some great teams, been in some battles here, but, again, love to see them be able to come out and get one tonight where we can go the distance. But a couple guys, Clay, that I'll mention, too, to look for on the offensive side. We mentioned already Canaan's the guy. He's going to do a lot of the running. Everything's came off of his arm or off of his legs. But the 2 guys that lead that receiver group, Miles Mack, number 13, and the man it's going to be wearing number 12, Aspen Favre, they've combined for 51 catches, 583 yards, and 3 of his 9 touchdowns. And then you got a guy like Colton Hopgood. We saw him last year as a freshman play some. Big Brothers we mentioned already in our preview episode. He's playing at the River right now. He's only a sophomore, good-looking kid. but he's actually the leading receiver for touchdowns for Canaan with 3. And we'll see him carry the ball some too. So he's a kid that I look, it's kind of their X factor guy that they'll use in multiple spots tonight.
Yeah, and that'll be interesting to see. One of the key players, of course, for the Maroon Tide is Nolan Wilson. He's the 4-star committed to Alabama. I thought he had 2 or 3 just really dominant series a week ago, or that really helped Picayune win that ball game, Rick. That may have been 2 or 3 defensive series of his best football that we've seen him play in quite some time. Does this offense get the ball out of their hand quick enough tonight to kind of offset Nolan Wilson, or will he have a chance to make a few plays?
Well, I think it depends. I think that if we can get them where they have to, and you look back what St. Martin did to them, which was a lopsided game, they didn't score at all. They were able to really keep Canaan in a box. Now, Canaan likes to go outside. He wants to go outside and run. If he can get that edge, he likes to do it. If we can make them one-dimensional, I think we'll have that opportunity to do it. But as you mentioned already, we came into this game last week, our sack number was at 9. It's at 13 now. So we got a lot of sacks last week, most of them coming on a couple of drives in the second half. We need that good, solid defensive play tonight.
Yes, we do. We've set up some questions for you. We're about 10 minutes out from a lot of those questions being answered here with Hancock and Picayune. In the middle of our Mossy of Picayune pregame show, we will return after this 3-minute timeout.
Looking to buy or sell your land, home, or commercial property in Pearl River County? Then it's time to call the hometown experts at Valente Real Estate. Our friendly local team is here to make sure your real estate dreams come true with personalized home searches, expert guidance, and flexible property showings that work around your schedule. From the first showing to the final signature, we're right by your side, making sure your experience is smooth, stress-free, and right on time. At Valente Real Estate, we believe in more than just closing deals. We build lasting relationships, one happy client at a time. So whether you're ready to find your dream home or sell your current property, visit us at 109 North Main Street in downtown Picayune, or give us a call at 601-799-3477. Valente Real Estate, where your next chapter begins.
Friday night lights, hometown pride, and neighbors you can count on. That's what makes our community special. And that's exactly what you'll find at FNB Picayune Bank, your hometown bank. With 4 convenient branches in Picayune, you'll always see the same friendly faces ready to help, whether it's everyday checking or big life goals. Visit fnbop.com or stop by today, where banking feels like home.
Hi, this is Sandy Kane Smith. I'm running to serve as your next Pearl River County Tax Assessor Collector. I've been responsible for managing over 100 employees, multi-million-dollar budget, and audits across all areas of county government. I will make sure you will get a fair assessment, fully staffed office, and bring back hometown customer service. Thank you for allowing me to serve the last 16 years as your Board of Supervisor. I truly appreciate your confidence and support, but on November the 4th, I need your help. Your vote makes the difference. This is Sandy Kane Smith, and I will see you at the polls.
Paid for by Sandy Kane Smith for Tax Assessor Collector.
All right, Rick, we have a captain sighting for the Hancock Hawks. They've actually been standing there for a pretty good while as they stood there through the anthem, did the 4 Hawks that will be captains tonight. We've already talked about basically all of these captains. That's Colton Hobgood, Kason Canaan. You have Corbin Whitfield, and then their leading tackler, and a guy we're going to have to figure out how to block tonight, and that is Jackson Knight. He'll be dressed in 43 tonight. As good as Canaan's been on the offensive side, has really been Knight from the defensive side. 41 stops, 9 tackles for a loss for 43 for the Hancock Hawks. They're going to be in red bottoms, white tops, red numerals, those navy blue or that Hancock blue tonight. If you're watching here on the booth cam. I've tried to put the link for our YouTube channel in the comments. If you'll go there, you'll be able to see the game. For the Tide tonight, that's Brandon Illett as one captain. That's Jordan Hathorn as another. Darius Fortenberry, another captain. And then Ontario Wilkins with those patented orange gloves, a captain for our Picayune Maroon Tide. The Tide tonight going to be in gray breeches, maroon tops, white numerals, white lettering, and that beautiful maroon headgear on homecoming. As we mentioned a little bit earlier, Kinsley Graves, the homecoming queen here for the Maroon Tide. And I think she's dual sport. I'll get my hand slapped if I mess this up, but I'm going to try it anyway. I think a softball young lady and also a cheerleader for Jessica Smith, cheerleading coach for the Picayune Maroon Tide. And Slick, we are just about set and ready to get this one going. It's an intriguing matchup. You look at Hancock, we've talked about it, got off to a slow start, but have won 2 in a row and really took care of the Pearl River Central Blue Devils rather easily a week ago. That was a runaway 41-21 win over Pearl River Central. Do you think that momentum kind of carries into Lee Triplet Stadium tonight? I
think that they're going to feel that way. Coach King kind of alluded to that with our preview episode. He said it's all about, gelling at the right time, and you want to be starting to play good football at district. And we already mentioned over 40 points in 2 games already back-to-back. Started off 0-4, winning 2 back-to-back, and it really doesn't matter what happens in non-district play. When you're 1-0 in district, you feel pretty good. So Hawks got to come in here with a lot of confidence.
Yeah, and we'll see how that confidence, how long it will last. It will be important in my mindset. You get a team that's 1-2 in a row, start to feel pretty good about themselves, to play well in this opening quarter for the homestanding Tide, to make sure Hancock knows that they have your full attention here as their homecoming guest. Good crowd has arrived here at Lee Triplet Stadium. You can hear the band nearest to us. That will be the Hancock band. If you hear too much noise on this near side, that's bad news for our Maroon Tide. You want that kind of low building roar to hit this booth. That means something good has happened for our Maroon and Gray tonight.
Really good crowd from Hancock. Made the, as you mentioned, pretty quick trip, 25, 30 minutes on the old Texas Flat Road to get here. They've showed up well tonight.
Yep, a good crowd and high expectations when you get a couple of wins in a row. The most important number for both of these clubs, 1-0 in district play. You win this one tonight for either club, you begin to be a bit in that driver's seat, and that may be a mouthful after 2 ball games, but a win last week for Picayune over Pascagoula was a big one.
Yeah, it was. And I like this. I like Maroon Tide defense taking the field first here, kicking the ball. I don't know if Hancock won the toss or not, but this is the group that's going to be challenged tonight.
Yep, that will be fun to see what the defensive backs for the Tide come up with. Played outstanding football along with that line, and the whole 11 played great in that second half. We shall see. Cruz has put a boot in it. A line drive mishandled at about the 6, and will get into the end zone. Not the traditional touchback for Edgar Cruz, but it is his 12th of the season. A line drive that just wasn't caught cleanly at the 6. I believe that was through the hands of Graves, and it's going to end up in a touchback.
It'll be interesting to see what Hancock comes out and does here. As we mentioned, we look for them to come out with 2 backs a lot tonight, but looks like they're going to come out with just 1.
And it will be off the right hip of the quarterback who we've talked about. That's Canaan. Over 2,000 total yards already on the season. Will be a jet sweep type look, and Nolan Wilson with a tackle for a loss to get the party started. We'll drop it back 5 yards, and now will cause a 2nd and 15 as Nolan Wilson defeated his block and able to make a big tackle for a loss. Will bring up 2nd and 15 What a play there by the 4-star in Nolan Wilson.
Yep, tried the jet sweep, and Amari Scott got enough of him to slow him down a little bit, and Wilson finished him off.
Here's Canan looking to call his own number, and back-to-back plays. Picking up right where he left off is Nolan Wilson. He's got the opening 2 tackles, and I'll give him 2 tackles for a loss. That was about a half-yard loss for Wilson on that.
Yeah, really good start for Maroon Tide and Wilson especially.
Yeah, great start by him as he's made these first 2 tackles. 3rd and 16 as it's back at the 14 of Hancock. And here's a pass called at the 14, advance quickly up to the 25, but that's going to be short, about 5 yards short. So the Tide could give up that little pass, swing pass out to the left, knowing that they had a huge cushion because of the opening 2 defensive plays from Nolan Wilson, and Hancock going to have to run their punt unit on from their own 25-yard line. A great start for the Tide defensively. Let's see who made that tackle over there. That was Jamari Hathorn with the textbook tackle.
Picking up where he left off last week as well, Clay. Had a couple really nice plays on offense and defense that really turned the tide, per se, for our Maroon Tide last week in Pascagoula.
I'll see what you did there. He was our Farm Bureau Player of the County here in Pearl River County. That punt was almost blocked. That's something to keep note of, and it is a beauty. A beauty of a punt. Hit at the Tide 38-yard line, and is going to be killed at the 20. What a beautiful effort that was, and that's Jackson Knight, Rick. We talked about his defensive play, but what a job there from the special teams. The punter, Knight, going to flip the field and going to set Picayune up at its 20-yard line after a great high school punt.
Yep, we know we need that complimentary football here. Uh-oh.
Yep, hold the phone. There is a flag somewhere. It's hidden from you and I, Rick.
Did they get Nolan for running into the kicker?
I don't know. He almost had it blocked, but then I had to follow the football. And look at this. This is interesting here. Penalty decline. I can hear legendary PA voice for the Maroon Tide, Jerry Grump, say. And so the penalty will be declined. I didn't catch an indication from our white hat on exactly what it was, but I did hear Grubby, as we affectionately call him from the far side, say that that penalty is declined. If you're watching on our Facebook cam, we have a comment posted by me, because the scammers will try to get you, but it's posted by me, the link to the actual broadcast of field view from our cameraman, Jackson Harrelson. We just kind of use this booth cam as an infomercial to get you over to that YouTube channel. Here's a little wrinkle. It's Dennis and then Fortenberry. Fortenberry, the wide receiver on the reverse, has it. He's across midfield quickly. Was going to be about a 35-yard gain, but there is a flag back behind it. I believe they got the Tide for an illegal block. A little wrinkle, Rick. It was the power out to the right. That's where Fortenberry was split out. They give it to him, they being Zay Dennis, the tailback, and it was a beautiful play design. Really got Fortenberry into a wide open space, but all for naught, as it's going to be a illegal block. It was a spot of the foul penalty. The penalty happened at the 30, so crazy as this sounds, Slick, they're going to put it right back at the original line of scrimmage. Wow. It really will be an old-fashioned redo. Tide going to have it at its own 20-yard line. 1st and 10 after the penalty yardage. Here's a give to Dennis. Dennis going to sprint straight off the right side for a 6-yard pickup. Dennis hit that one, Rick, as hard as I've seen him, kind of 0 to 60, just straight ahead for a 6-yard pickup. Nice run there by Dennis.
Yep, really good run by Zay. And I looked for the Hawks to run a similar defense as they did against Poplarville. We've seen them have 7 men up on the line of scrimmage, so they'd have 5 down linemen and 2 on the outside.
Here's the power to the right. That's Dennis trying to fight for the yardage needed for the first down. He needed 4, got about 3.5, and so that will put the Tide with, I think, a 3rd and 1 opportunity. And it will be a 3rd and 1. Tide have it to the 28-yard line. Their own 28, no score. 8:27 to go in our opening quarter. Picayune and Hancock. Here's a give to Dennis, and he is through the hole quickly. Down the far sideline. What a move. 35-30. What a move Zay Dennis put on, and it's going to buy him all the way up to the 11-yard line when it's said and done. A big run there by Zay Dennis. He was going to be dead to rights at about the 40 and just made an incredible move, and that will get him a 61-yard run for Dennis. Dennis off to a hot start for the Tide.
Yeah, he is, Clay, and like we've been saying each week now, you got to put the numbers in the box, but if you get through there's not many people there. And boy, Zay made as you said, a great move and got himself 5 to 10 extra yards.
Here's a give to McKinley. He was lined up at the fullback position as Kane McKinley. He'll drive ahead for 3. He'll go from the 9 to the 6. Will Kane McKinley, the sophomore fullback. So Tide cooking, have it 2nd and goal from the 6. Good start offensively, got a 3-and-out defensively, just how you would want this homecoming game to start from the Picayune perspective. Mr. Maroon Tide named that at the 9 o'clock this morning pep rally. Took himself under center. That's Colt Robertson. He'll pitch it to the left. That's Zay Dennis. Great blocks over here, and Dennis will score. A 6-yard touchdown run by Zay Dennis, and we'll credit the O-line there. Dennis has had some electric runs this year, but that O-line, particularly the left side, opened up a gaping hole. That's Edgar Cruz at the tackle spot, Bolden at the guard. Great job on that left side. Have the Tide out to a 6-0 early lead as we await the Diamond production point after. Snap back was good. The hole was good. The kick from Cruz right down Main Street. Tide lead it 7-0. We'll turn our attention to Ricky Whitaker for our Diamond production drive summary.
It was a good start, Clay, for the Maroon Tide offense. They run 6 plays. They take 2 minutes and 57 seconds off of the clock. It started with a 63-yard Zay Dennis scamper, and then it ended by a 6-yard Zay Dennis touchdown. Put the Maroon Tide up 7-0. Defense came out and got their stop, and the offense answered. That is that complimentary football we were hoping to see early tonight.
Yeah, it's a great job by that defense. And then you look at it, Jackson Knight really flipped the field, had a great punt, but Tide able to drive at 80 yards rather quickly, Rick. When you look at that drive summary, the big chunk run, of course, you mentioned from Dennis. I was impressed with our O-line. They really moved some furniture on that opening drive.
Yep. And now this is what you wanted, right? You wanted you got the +1 now on Hancock possessions. They know is going to be important for them. Let's see what they do. Did they rush one here? Did we get a chance to maybe get another one?
Yep, as the Tide lead it 7-0 over Hancock. A good boot once again by Cruz, and has another touchback. Great job by Cruz. Now has 13 touchbacks on the year, does Eddie. Boy, what a weapon. We talk about how the extra points and field goals matter. That's another facet, too, to be able to make your opponent start at the 20 and not give up the injuries, the penalties, all that kind of come with flying down. On special teams, when you can watch it sail into the end zone. Here's the tailback off of each hip of Canaan. He's looking to the near side, and it's incomplete. He was trying to find Jackson Knight with it at about the 26-yard line. It is incomplete. Nolan Wilson had 2 of the first 3 stops. He got help by Hathorne, Jamari Hathorne on the other in a 3-and-out. Tide have looked good on defense so far. 2 wide receivers to the bottom of the screen, 1 up top. That's Canaan in a shotgun. That's where he will be most of the night. He's got his tailback off his right hip. He's called for it, gotten it. 2nd and 10. And a miscommunication on the route Hathorn was in great coverage, but it wasn't going to matter as he sails it over the head of his intended wide receiver, Thompson. Canaan thought Thompson was doing something different in the route, so back-to-back incompletions now brings up 3rd and 10. Ball rests back at the 20 of the Hawks. Hancock yet to pick up a first down. See if the Tide defense can duplicate the 3 and out from the first possession. 2 wide receivers top of the screen, 1 to the bottom. Now we'll send a man from left to right in motion. Try to run it back to the left and has success in that first down that we were just describing, as Canaan's going to go get 12 yards off the left side. It was a clever play design as you brought a slot receiver from left to right, and then you backfield him with Canaan with a good quarterback run. That's one of those designed quarterback runs that Ricky Whitaker astutely told you about in the pregame. 5 wide set, empty backfield for Canaan. 3 to the bottom, 2 to the top. Canaan calls his own number. He's got something he likes up the middle and go get 6 tough yards out of it. Will Canaan sets his team up in a 2nd and 4. Here's the athleticism on full display for Canaan in these back-to-back design runs. Amari Scott with the tackle for the Tide. 3 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left for Canaan. 2nd and 4, ball from the 36 of Hancock. Tough throw dropped at the 49-yard line. Great coverage by Hathorn, but it was a well-placed football, and Bryson Thompson just not able to squeeze it at the end. And so the Tide with a chance to potentially get off the field here, 3rd and 4.
Yeah, really good throw there by Canaan. And Maroon Tide's been in pretty good position. Let Canaan break one. That's going to happen sometimes, but really good job there of Canaan getting the ball out of his hand, just couldn't squeeze it.
Rick went silent and fixed the scoreboard bug within 2 plays. Unbelievable. 2 wides to the left. 1 was to the right. He's since gone in motion. Canaan going to try to run where that motion just took place. He's got the corner. What a heady play by Canaan. Going to try to dive forward for the first down. There's a flag back behind the play. That's normally good news for the defense, which is the Maroon Tide. Let's see if we don't have a hold. Trying to hold a defender on this edge.
I think that's exactly what it's going to be. And as we talked about in the pregame, Clay, Canaan, if you take a bad angle and let him get to the edge, he's dangerous. He can operate really good on those sidelines.
Yeah, if the quarterback spot doesn't work out for Canaan, and I'm not saying it won't, but there'll be a community college at least in this state that could make a good offense out of using him at the slot receiver spot. He's got that kind of skill set. He's really slippery, and he's just flat out fast, Canaan.
He can run.
2 wides to each side. Canaan going to have a little trickery of his own, gives it to Holt to Hobgood, who was leveled. That was Hobgood who got it, and then Wilson got him. What a hit. Ball's going to fall incomplete, but what a hit there by Wilson. You know, Cody Stagner mentioned to us a couple weeks ago of really challenging 74 at practice. I think it took, Rick.
I think he's the answer to that. And boy, that's one of those where you kind of gasp as just a football watcher. Just laid the lumber to Mr. Hopgood. Luckily, he gets up and he's okay.
Here's the punt off the foot of Knight, and he's hit a beauty. Hathorn calls for a fair catch and wisely gets away from it. Look at Knight, back-to-back beautiful kicks. He'll pin the Tide back to its 21-yard line. Look, that's some of that hitting yardage inside of a football game. Knight from a high school foot has hit 2 boomers of punts, Rick. Tide just had to drive 80 yards to get a score. We'll have to go, this is going to be a 78-yard drive if you were able to score another touchdown, as it will start at the 22. Boy, Jackson Knight, the punter's been special here in his first 2 attempts.
Yeah, really helped his defense out, pinning the Maroon Tide offense deep. But, boy, again, good job, Maroon Tide defense, not letting Hancock use a lot of clock. Still got 5 minutes to work with here in just the first quarter.
Here's the power out to the right, and that's Dennis. All kinds of space. Dennis may go 40. Look at him walk that far sideline, an extra gear. Zay Dennis, wow. Mentioning having to be a 78-yarder to score, Rick, and Dennis got it all at once. Homecoming tonight, and he danced that far sideline to the tune of 78 yards. Tide lead at 13-0 already early in this one.
Yeah, Clay. It's going to be one of the easiest drive summaries we've done this year, and I love that.
Absolutely. Diamond Production Drive Summary after this PAT, brought to you by Exotic Stones. It is hit well by Cruz and right through the middle. Tied quickly on top of the visiting Hawks, 14-0, 4:54 left in just our opening frame. Ricky Whitaker, Tide have come out motivated. Let's hear about that one play summary that you have for us.
Yeah, that was it, Clay. One play, and Zay Dennis goes 78 yards, shows him his tail lights. And, you know, Coach Stagner mentioned talking to Zay some this week, too. I think he needs to keep doing that because everybody he said he's talked to has turned their game on tonight.
Wow, we may have to get him to make a booth visit. I mean,
know.
he's got folks motivated. Great job as Cruz going to get ready to tee it up and kick it away. Speaking of Cruz, he's going to be a midfielder for the soccer team when they get underway in just a few weeks, really shorter than that. You can help the soccer team. They have a car wash at Buy Low Auto Parts. Buy Low Auto Parts in Picayune. That's from 8 to noon tomorrow at Buy Low Auto Parts. Come help the men's soccer program tomorrow morning. Here is Cruz from his own 40, and he's gotten 3 opportunities, Rick, and he's got 3 touchbacks, does Cruz, now with 14 of those. And if you'll remember back to the beginning of the season, Rick, we were still kind of trying to figure out what to do. Well, now I think the plan is let Cruz kick it as far as he can.
Yep, that's it, and that's a weapon in itself, and we saw what happened the last one. I mean, to be that kick that far, to have that velocity where it's hard to handle, boy, he has been quite the weapon all year.
And speaking of velocity and hard to handle, what about Zay Dennis's start to this one, Rick?
Oh, he's been incredible to start, Clay. Already on the night, 2 drives. He's got 5 touches, 155 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He's averaging 31 yards per touch.
Wow. Xavier Richardson with a high tackle, but an effective one as he will pin the Hawks a couple yards deeper. It'll be 2nd and 12 now from the 18 after a tremendous play by Mr. Richardson.
Yeah, Maroon Tide defense responding positively to their offense's great start.
Boy, on all cylinders, that's the Tide hitting on so far tonight. 3 wide receivers to the top of the frame, 1 to the bottom. It will go to Hobgood, who was one of the 3. He was the first, tightest to the formation. Catches it, has it to the 26. Will make it 3rd and a bit more manageable. Thing that the Tide's doing is tackling right away. No missed tackles that I can account for so far in this ball game.
No, tackling's been really clean. That's a really good point by you. And I think for Coach King and this Hawk offense, got to just try to get Canaan and this offense to settle in. Only down 2 scores early, but this is going to be a pretty important possession for their confidence.
I have an extra lineman in this set as there's 2 wide receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Tailback off his right hip, the fake, and then it was Ghana who almost got him, but Nolan Wilson did not miss. Ghana was the first man through. Wilson is playing a heck of a ball game.
He is taking over on defense, Clay, and really good call there by Coach Hayden. He sent Scott from his linebacker position on the blitz. That threw them off a little bit, and then you shift over, try to pick up the man who's blitzing. You can't forget about 74.
No, you cannot. As Wilson came in with 4 sacks, 7 tackles for a loss. He's already got 3 tackles for a loss that I can account for. Fair catch called for and made at the 36-yard line of the Tide. That was Jordan Hathorn able to grab it. Another good kick by Jackson Knight. But, boy, is the Tide defense playing tremendous so far And you mentioned it, that energy, and a lot of these guys play both ways, so it certainly makes sense. It's carrying over to both sides. This is as good a quarter of football from the Maroon Tide that we've seen.
Yeah, it is, Clay. I mean, and they've got their third offensive possession still in the first quarter.
Yep, you'll have fun with that scoring summary if this holds up. It's Dave Dennis with a 6-yard touchdown run and a 78-yard touchdown run. As of the last time the Tide have it. Cole Robertson looking to throw. Will take a shot down the far sideline, trying to run under it as Fortenberry, unable to do so at about the 15-yard line, incomplete. There were 2 Hawks out there in coverage, and Cole Robertson kind of just dropped back, threw it as far as he could, and let 2. Fortenberry trying to run under it, and it falls incomplete at about the 15. Colt showing off the arm there, Rick.
Yeah, looked really good in warm-ups tonight too, Clay. They practiced a few of those, and the confidence those 2 guys have in one another, not a bad idea to give 2 a shot at one.
No, I like it. Tied up 14-0. Here's Dennis. Look at Dennis get himself loose again, up to the 46-yard line. Should have enough for the first down. Let's see, though, Rick. They may say it's a half-yard short, and that's what we'll look at. They had him to the 46, and that's why it's a half-yard short, because they dropped it back to the Tide 45. I'm going to say that's a poor spot. Third and 1. 2 minutes, 10 seconds left here in the opening quarter. Tide on top, 14-0. Junior James, the wide receiver to the left. Look at this hole by Dennis. He is in all kinds of room. 30 up to the 25. Boy, Dennis has made some tough runs, Rick, but he's had some runs tonight where he looks like he's just out running track. I mean, he is in some big gaping holes, particularly off the left side. What are you seeing off the left side of this Tide line as Dennis with another big chunk run have it down to the Hawks' 27-yard line?
Well, you said it. I mean, 28-yard run there by him. Offensive line just really moving lumber tonight. Really good blocking up front.
Ball over on the left hash. It's at the 27 of Hancock. Cole Robertson looking to throw. He's got Wilkins underneath. Caught at the 20 up to the 15. Good move by Wilkins. He will score. A 27-yard connection between Colt Robertson and Ontario Wilkins. Good route run by the tight end. Caught at about the 18-yard line, and then Wilkins made a really good move on that far sideline and turns it into a 27-yard touchdown pass from QB1 Colt Robertson to Ontario Wilkins.
Yeah, beautiful play there, and when you're running the ball that well, Clay, those are the things that open up, and nobody near Wilkins. Makes a good cut up field, puts a move on a defender, and he goes in there. Maroon Tide that time, Clay, they run only 4 plays. That's all they needed to go 64 yards. They take a minute 24 off the clock, and Colt Robertson hooks up with Wilkins for a beautiful pitch and catch, 27-yard touchdown, and we asked for it. We begged for it. They gave it to us so far here in the first quarter. Maroon Tide dominating.
Yeah, it really was, and I credited Wilkins with a good move, and he ducked under a really good block over on that far sideline. We'll try to credit the young man that had that block at about the 15 that allowed Wilkins to score. Diamond Productions' point after was true, 21-0, Tide on top.
Yep, really good numbers tonight. Colt Robertson now 1 of 2 with a 27-yard touchdown. Maroon Tide offense just firing on all cylinders, man. Eight rush attempts, 195 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's 24 yards on the ground per carry as a group. Heck of a start. Really can't start much better than that.
No, you really can't. I mean, just a beautiful start here to a homecoming ball game. Tide trying to get to the dance early. Clock may be thinking about getting warm later in this ball game as the Tide already on top, 21-0, 124. Still in our opening quarter, Rick, just has been a dominating performance so far for the Maroon and Gray. All facets hitting here for the Tide.
Yep, and Hancock, good news is it's early, right? So you can't let up here. So we're going to see them in their first empty set, and that's really what they have to do, I think, at this point to try to claw back in this ball game.
Edgar Cruz with another touchback now, 15 of those on the year. Underneath caught. Good tackle, though, right after the catch. Going to be a 6-yard pickup, but that's it. Arriving immediately and making a stop. That was Richardson again. Good job by Xavier Richardson making a sure tackle. Alds came in and maybe going to split some of that tackle as well, along with Brody Kirkland. A good rally into the football.
Yep, that's Aiden Harvanek, the junior tight end. A nice catch.
Here is Kanan calling his own number, and there's our first missed tackle of the night. Still dancing forward to the 42-yard line goes Kanan. Got slippery at about the 36, Ricky Whitaker, and that allows him to move the sticks. Good open field run there by the quarterback, Kanan.
Yep, and just another one of those guys. It seems like we've got one every week we've played, or a couple of them in some cases, that you got to make sure you wrap them up good. They don't go down easy, and Kanan certainly is one of those kids.
Jackson Harrelson focusing on our band over there. That band going to be in competition, state competition, have done really, really well, have our band. Here's a shot down the middle, never found the football. The intended wide receiver never saw it. It wasn't going to be a bad throw, Rick, but the wide receiver en route, Bryson Thompson, just was never able to locate it. He was in good coverage. That was Cam Quinn in stride for stride coverage, but Thompson never saw it. That's twice those two young men have not been on the same page tonight.
Yep. Yeah, and we see that from Hancock's offense a lot. If they do take a deep shot, they like to do that on first down. That's what the numbers show anyway, but not a bad idea, but, yeah, miscommunication there.
Second and 10 from the 40. Pressure again. What an athletic play to have a completion on this pass. As gets it out of his hands and caught. That was to Talley. I'm not sure how he knew Talley was there or found him with it. We'll tell you more about that play on the other side of the quarter break. Tide have dominated to this point. Lead at 21-0. We'll be back with your second quarter action as you're taking in Picayune Maroon Tide football here with your Talking Ball Y'all media group. As what a dominant first quarter. Tide lead at 21-0.
Looking to buy or sell your land, home, or commercial property in Pearl River County? Then it's time to call the hometown experts at Valente Real Estate. Our friendly local team is here to make sure your real estate dreams come true with personalized home searches, expert guidance, and flexible property showings that work around your schedule. From the first showing to the final signature, we're right by your side, making sure your experience is smooth, stress-free, and right on time. At Valente Real Estate, we believe in more than just closing deals. We build lasting relationships, one happy client at a time. So whether you're ready to find your dream home or sell your current property, visit us at 109 North Main Street in downtown Picayune or give us a call at 601-799-3477.
Let's get a report from Greg Ducker down on the Maroon Tide sideline about that dominant first quarter of play.
Well, Clay and Ricky, we have talked about all year we wanted to see the Tide come out with intensity in the first quarter, and they have done just that, playing a dominant game of offense, and defense has done well, so we're hoping to be able to corral Kanan a little bit and shut that offense down and keep it as a shutout tonight. Excited to see what the Tide is doing on offense and defense this evening.
Yeah, it's been a complete game so far for the Tide, as that's our Exotic Stone sideline report from Greg Ducker. Hancock going to be able to move the sticks. Another escape by Kanan and finding one of these wide receivers, as he's done well on the last two plays. Here's a screen set up and completed down the near sideline. That's Hopgood going to score as a beautifully set up screen and a really good block downfield. Going to spring Hancock, just as we had bragged on the Tide, Canaan made 3 great plays in a row, 2 really good individual efforts, and then here the screen pass to Hobgood for the touchdown.
Yeah, you go back a few plays later, Clay, right before we took the break, it was A.K. Burnett and Xavier Jackson met at him. He stood in there, delivered a ball, should have been a sack, and then you had 4 or 5 Tidemen in his face. He completes another one to pick the first down up. And that time, you just do – it's a really good play call for an aggressive defense. Nolan Wilson been running free most of the night, but he was running too free that time. Jailbreak screen is what happened, and it was blocked well by the Hawks. 21-7 ball game now.
Yep, and so Hancock trying to fight their way back into this, and what a perfectly timed play call for that screen pass. And then there was a downfield block at about the 15 that was able to allow Hancock to go ahead and score with that. A nice run after the catch, of course, by Hobgood. I told you, Rick, from Coach King's Greene County days, when they would hit Poplarville with a big play, it always seemed to be in a screen game, and there they got the tie. Coach Michael King had a very successful coaching stint with Greene County. He certainly knows what he is doing, and he dialed one up perfectly there. 21-7, 11:26 to go in the second quarter. Well, I spoke a bit early maybe about that clock being warm. The Hawks responded, and really that could have gone disastrous without the athleticism of Canaan. You said it beautifully. He made 2 plays that most high school quarterbacks under duress weren't going to be able to make on that drive.
Yeah, really good play by him, keeping his composure. Could have easily collapsed there, but hung in there.
Here's Fortenberry. He's called it at about the 15. He's going to be able to return it to the 22. That's where Tide will go to work. Tide have scored with their first 3 possessions tonight. See if they can return serve after Hancock puts his first points on the board. That was a 46-yard completion from Canaan to Colton Hobgood. Hobgood, a sophomore in this offense. We'll also see him a lot on defense for the Hawks. Tide going to start this drive from its own 22-yard line. It will be Mitchell Smith, A.K. Burnett, Jacob Nixon, Bolden, and Cruz, the line for the Tide, who keep keeping holes for this young man. Is Zay Dennis going to go ahead for about a 12-yard pickup and move the sticks with this first down play. Thought we struggled a bit on first down a week ago. Tide have not tonight. Have been really good on first down, as that was a 13-yard pickup by Zay Dennis.
Yeah, really nice blocking all night for the Maroon Tide so far here early in the first half.
Dennis is going to end up with a monster half of football if this continues. He's been great. Jordan Hathorn set to the wing over on the right. It's McKinley at the fullback. It will be Jordan Hathorn who's got it, looking to make a cut. Has from the 35 to the 36. Just a minimal gain. Going to pick up 2. Will Hathorn. That's the best defensive snap to my recollection so far for the Hawks.
Yeah, really about the best you can do to defend that Hawthorne reverse. We've seen him make really big runs out of that, but Hancock ready for it that time.
So it'll bring up 2nd and 8. Ball over on the left hash. Nixon going to approach the line. He'll be at the center position for the Tide. Here's a pitch to Dennis. Dennis looking for running room. So back-to-back plays. Defense up to the task. That was another really good tackle. That was by Caden Dito. Dito did a good job getting a stop, and just a gain of 1 will bring up now a 3rd and 7 for the Tide. Going to stay over on the left hash. Tide for the first time tonight, Rick, facing a 3rd down, I believe. That's how dominant this offense has been early. First 3rd down that I can remember in our 4 opportunities. Another pitch to Dennis. He's got it. He is loose for the yardage needed for the first down. Will be escorted out of bounds at about the Tide 48-yard line after a 10-yard pickup by Dennis. 9:18 to go before our Animal Health Clinic halftime show. Tied up 21-7. Hancock just got its first score with its last drive, so the Tide trying to respond to that. Kinsley Graves, our homecoming queen tonight. Ball has lived over on the left hash here, Rick. 4th play in a row it's been over there. And a straight-ahead run by Hathorn. He's still alive. Look at Hathorn go. He'll score for the Tide. It'll be a 52-yard run by Jordan Hathorn, as Hathorn will go the distance. He'll have his 5th rushing touchdown on the year, his first of the night, and the Tide will indeed respond with a 52-yard touchdown run by Jordan Hathorn. Looking for the Diamond Production point after. Hold by Rayburn. Kick will be from Eddie Cruz. With 8:44 to go here in our opening half. Kick from Cruz is center cut, 28-7. A great response there, Ricky Whitaker, as we turn it over to you for our Diamond Productions drive summary.
Yep, Maroon Tide goes 78 yards. Only takes them 5 plays to do it, and Jordan Hawthorne, on only his 2nd carry of the game, goes in from 52 yards out. Great run by Hawthorne, right down Main Street there, and puts the Maroon Tide back on top, 28-7.
Best our lines played, I think, Rick, in a long stretch here. Maybe not be the same type of opponents, some of these matchups, but they have really played well. We're seeing guys in big gaps, wide open spaces, doing a tremendous job, or the guys up front.
Yeah, really good job by the offensive line. And I mean, I think that last series, Maroon Tide defense playing super intense, but just good call, really good play calls there by Coach King. I think that's what you do with an aggressive defense. As we said, you call a screen play, and but Canaan executed it and was able to put his team up. But their offense now really knowing that, hey, our defense has not had a stop yet tonight.
And Cruz has hammered another one. Cruz going to be a collegiate kicker if he wants to. I mean, he is showing off now, Rick, as he's had 5 opportunities, and they've all found the end zone from the leg of Eddie Cruz. He's a junior. This just isn't normal. He is finding the end zone with great consistency. 16 touchbacks by Eddie Cruz.
That is impressive for a high school kicker, and Mr. Cruz still got another year to do it.
Absolutely. That's the good news. That whole operation when it comes to PATs and field goals all coming back. 2 sophomores and a junior. Cody Stagner pointed that out in our Mossy Picayune pregame interview. Canaan here with the first time with a lot of time to survey and makes a good throw. A good run after the catch. Ball was caught at about the 29-yard line, and then Knight showed, well, excuse me, that was not Knight. That was Harvinek making a nice catch. You spotlighted him earlier. That was last drive, and he's got a good catch here and a nice run after the catch. Really lowered his shoulder.
Yeah, and Hancock on that drive there, that set, that's that split backfield set again. That time they don't have but 2 wide receivers. Tight end just drags across the middle, and as you said, Canaan had enough time where he could find him.
Canaan will send Hobgood from his left hip out in motion. That's the direction the ball's going to, out to the right side. It was a ball targeted to Favre that will hit the ground harmlessly, be 2nd and 10. So he took Hobgood there, moved him in motion, and then threw it underneath to that same side to Favre, and it just falls incomplete.
Yep, stayed in that split backfield set again, and you really need that. They haven't been able to block the Maroon Tide when they get in 3 and 4 and 5 wide receiver sets. See if the Tide can get pressure here.
Here is Canaan looking to throw, and he's got a guy. It's called off to the races. This will be a touchdown, as that's Thompson. They've been not on the same page a couple times tonight. They definitely were, as a touchdown catch for Bryson Thompson, the junior caught it and then running away from the defenders for the Tide. What a big play from Canaan to Thompson.
Yeah, that one was the 65-yard variety there. And third down, Maroon Tide not able to get quite enough pressure, and Canaan had just enough time to find Thompson running wide across the middle. Had pretty good coverage there, but a better throw.
Yep, a 68-yarder to get it to 28 to now 14 as the PAT is good. So credit the Hawks continuing to fight. Got down in this one, Rick, 21-0, but the offense has come alive since, and now 28-14 our current score.
Yeah, and after three back-to-back drives where they had to punt, went 3 and out, didn't even pick a first down up. They've now scored on their last 2 drives.
Yes, they have, and Canaan, of course, at the center of it. But that was good speed shown after the catch by Thompson. I mean, Thompson ran away from some speedy defensive backs from the Tide to be able to get this score to 28-14. I wrote it down as a 68-yard pass from Canaan to Thompson. It was really, in the air, maybe 7 or 8 yards, and then Thompson did the rest after the catch. Similar type result. It was just a short little screen pass, and Hobgood did the work after, but 2 good play designs and dialed up at the right time. Have the Hawks back into this one, 28-14, 7:54 to go before our Animal Health Clinic halftime show.
And now you got to be aware of the onside kick.
That's a good call by you. Hopefully the front line's kind of thinking the same and don't let Hancock steal a possession from the Picayune perspective. Of course, Hancock would love just this, to have the onside kick work. It did not, as it didn't. Well, let's see. Did AK, no, that was Colin Agana able to get on it at midfield. Agana just comes up at midfield and grabs it. But they said that Hancock moved before the fact, got a head start. They were offsides. So somebody a little anxious there for the Hawks, got a head start on it.
Yeah, and this is that play that we don't like. We saw this. We talked about this last year. They get to do it again.
Yep, and let's see if the Hawks choose to do it again. Is the element of surprise gone enough that the Hawks choose to boot it away, or do they truly attempt this again from their own 35 now?
I think you have to kick it deep here, but we'll see. We've seen crazier things.
We have. Trahan, a good kicker. That's Nathan Trahan for the Hawks. Now teed up at the 35, and they will indeed boot it deep. Darius Fortenberry going to catch it at the 8. Couple good blocks on this near side. Have him to the 25. Nothing gaping there for him to run through. There were a couple of good blocks, and Fortenberry's been good in the return game for the Tide. Coming in, he had accumulated 205 yards in the return game for the Maroon Tide. Ball going to rest at the 25-yard line. That's where the Tide will start this drive.
Yeah, Maroon Tide on their anytime we've got the chance to return a kick, Hancock's coverage team has done a pretty good job.
We'll see what the Tide can do. Just a reminder, car wash tomorrow for the Picayune Men's Soccer Club. That is at Bilo Auto Parts in Picayune. 8 to noon tomorrow for the men's soccer program. Wide receiver to each side of this formation. Here is Zay Dennis looking to make the edge and has 30, 35, lowers his head at the 38, gets him to the 40-yard line. Good physical start to this drive by Zay Dennis. A 15-yard pickup by Mr. Dennis. Zay in his running game looking awfully good. Rick, you give that gaudy number.
Yeah, he's touched it 11 times for 231 yards. Wow.
Boy, what's that per number?
21
Huge.
yards per.
Good grief, what a night here by this O-line and this rushing attack so far for the Tide. We still have 7 minutes before the locker room, and Dennis well above that 200 mark. Pump fake and a throw. Let's see if Junior James can run it down. Won't be able to. Incomplete. Pretty good coverage out there. The pump fake was a nice show by Colt Robertson, but Brody Peterson did a good job staying at home, not allowing Junior James to get loose and go catch the football. Falls incomplete.
Yep, Hawks showing cover one right there with their secondary and had the cornerback beat on the pump, but the safety comes over and does his job.
Good job by them. 2nd and 10. Ball at the 39-yard line, tied 39. Here's Dennis. Dennis with a good run off the left side. That's one of those runs I think Cody was referring to. Just kind of took what the defense was giving Zay Dennis and went and got the 5 yards forward by Zay Dennis. Not a whole lot of dancing. Got north-south pretty quickly. Will set up a 3rd and 4 for the Tide. So Tide have been in 3rd down only twice tonight by my count. Have been so dominant with the football, have scored on every possession here offensively, have the Tide, leading at 28-14. We'll send Wilkins and Jordan Hathorn from right to left in this formation. That was your tight end and wing back, and it has worked as Dennis across midfield all the way down to the 34-yard line. Move those 2 guys, Rick, and the wing back Jordan Hathorn, and then also Wilkins, and they ran right behind them on the run, and Dennis a nice run after they moved Hathorn and Wilkins. He followed those 2 good blocks, and he's got it down to the 34-yard line, does Zay Dennis.
Yep, pick up 21 there by Dennis, and really good when you have it 3rd and manageable and can pick 21 up. That's shows you what the offensive line's doing.
Yeah, it was a good job, too, in a formation, kind of changing things there. Here's Jordan Hathorn. Hathorn with a cut at the 15, 10, 5, touchdown. Jordan's got his 2nd touchdown run of the night. Does Jordan Hathorn a good cut, and he's got a 34-yard touchdown run, does Mr. Hathorn. He now has 6 rushing touchdowns on the year. Look at this rushing attack by the Tide, are just moving it at will on the ground as we await our Diamond Productions point after Jordan's got his 2nd rushing touchdown of the night, that of the 34-yard variety. Cruz going to have to ice that leg as he has been busy in the kick game tonight. He's perfect with another PAT as he came into the night 20 of 22. He's now 25 of 27 on PATs.
Only took the Maroon Tide that time, Clay, 2 minutes and 10 seconds to go 75 yards. They did it in 5 plays. It started with a nice 21-yard run on 3rd down by Zay Dennis, and then Hawthorne comes back in with his 2nd touchdown of the night. He goes in from 34 yards out for his 2nd score, approaching that 100-yard mark already. And you talk about gaudy numbers. 3 touches for Jordan Hawthorne, 88 yards. That's nearly 30 yards per carry.
Good grief. Look at the total rushing yards, Rick. That's about what the Tide average per ball game, 348 already on the ground. Look at the per number.
We were sitting
grief.
We were sitting at 341 coming in, if I remember the tails of the tape numbers, so we're over that already here in the second half. But 17 for 348, 4 touchdowns on the ground, and averaging 20 yards per touch.
Wow.
I think me and you could go run some out there tonight behind this offensive line.
Certainly
well as they're playing, maybe one play, right?
Yeah, maybe. Look at this. What a job Eddie Cruz now with 17 touchbacks. Rick, that's 6 in a row tonight for Cruz. Yep, 6 touchbacks by Cruz as he's well oiled up and ready. 35-14. Now something to keep an eye on. Hancock scored with its last 2 touches, right, Rick? See if the defense can respond a bit here.
Yep.
Is that right? Is it 2 of the last 3, or is it back-to-back drives?
Back-to-back drives. Yeah, after punting 3 times, they've scored back-to-back.
Had a screen pass that scored, and then a nice kind of slant route run by Thompson, who was able to run away from the Tide defensively. Here's Canan, going to be hitting a backfield drop for a loss. A good tackle made for the Maroon Tide. That was Amari Scott. Scott's been good defensively for the Tide this season. came in with 39 tackles, already has 3 or 4 in the action tonight.
Just kind of quietly does his job, right? And when he wasn't out there for a game, we noticed.
Yep, and as your linebacker, you can certainly appreciate that. The job that he has done at that same position for the Tide. Canan looking to throw, going to take a shot over the middle. Jamari Hathorn's got it for the Tides, picked it off at midfield. Here comes the return for Hathorn as there's a pitiful flag that came out and going to negate this good return for Hathorn. The interception a hole, but Rick, is that a clip?
No.
I don't think so. That's a pitiful poor flag.
That was a legal block. Wasn't a chop block. It wasn't anything malicious at all. That was a clean, good, legal block. We're about to see here on our monitor.
Yeah, and that was a great pick by Jamari Hathorn. Good news for the Tide. The pick will hold. The INT will stay as Jamari's got his 3rd INT on the year. You remember the biggest potentially was the game sealer against Gulfport, but then he had a dramatic one last week that kind of flipped that second half too against Pascagoula. Here he snagged one at midfield. Was going to have a great return. I just don't agree with this flag. Rick's going to be able to see it on our monitor after the fact to maybe give me a better opinion when he sees it the second time through. But Hathorn caught it over his shoulder, and then when he started his return, that's a good clean block off the shoulder pad, not on the back, and it'll negate a good return. It'll give the Tide more field to work with. Let's see where they're finally going to walk this one down to. They'll walk the Tide all the way back to the 30-yard line after the clip on the return is walked off. Tide lead at 35-14. We called for the defense to respond in half with a turnover. That's Canan's 6th INT on the year. Like we told you, Jamari Hathorn has 3 of those in the defensive secondary for the Tide. I'm going to step away in a moment or two and allow Ricky Whitaker to guide us into the halftime show. My little girl's across town doing something that she's asked me to be at. I'm going to try to be there. Midfield called, a dime drop by Colt Robertson to Zay Dennis. Look at Dennis's speed after the fact. A beautiful pass from Colt Robertson, a retreat by Robertson to really let Zay's route develop, put it on him, and then 65 yards later, the Tide have gotten it to a 41 spot as we await the Diamond Production PAT. What a great play there by Colt Robertson, and a good run after the catch, of course, by Zay Dennis. Good play call, too, as that will make it 42-14. I'm going to turn the reins over to you, Ricky Whitaker, and I will return during our Animal Health Clinic halftime show. Tide lead at 42-14.
PAT is up and good by Mr. Eddie Cruz, and everyone in on the action tonight. Zay Dennis sneaks out of the backfield. It will pass 50 and up. He comes out in the flats, hits the sideline. There's no one there, and Mr. Colt Robertson, Mr. Tide, drops a dime right into the belly of Mr. Zay. 65 yards later, Colt Robertson's numbers on the night, 2 of 4, 92 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Maroon Tide doing it in the passing game, doing it in the running game. They have been a fully functioning unit here tonight. (42-14) your score. And Eddie Cruz is going to get ready to tee this one up. Hit 6 in a row in the end zone. Let's see if he can make it number 7. And he does it. That's going to be his best back-to-back, 6 times back-to-back. Touchbacks. We're sitting now at 4 minutes and 35 seconds here before our Animal Health Clinic halftime show. We appreciate you listening. Clay Sweet mentioned he stepped away to attend an event for his daughter. We certainly Always enjoy that. Appreciate him doing that. Canaan's going to come out now with 5 wide receivers, empty backfield. Quarterback draw, calls his own number. Gets a little bit there, but boy, Nolan Wilson, who has made himself a present tonight, comes up with a tackle. Going to bring up second down now. Pretty good pickup by Canaan. Going to be second down and 2 after an 8-yard pickup there by Canaan. They're going to stay with the empty set. Canaan going to call his own number again. That's going to be Wilson on the tackle again, but not until he picks up the first down. First down going to be picked up there by Canaan. Going to move the chains. Nolan Wilson with just a ton of tackles already here in this first half. First down, clock still running. Under 3:50 right now. 42-14 your score. 4 wide receivers, 1 back next to Canaan. He's going to take it. He's going to go to his back out of the backfield. Had a missed tackle there, but that's going to be brought in by number 9, Majaya Talley. Cam Quinn going to be in on the stop there. He's going to bring up second and around 6 yards for the Hawks. Official timeout. That's what we have on the field. With 3:22 left to go here, if you're the Hawks, you've got to try to get points here. Down 42-14 and Maroon Tide to get the ball to start the second half. Got to make the most out of this one if you're the Hawks. If you're Maroon Tide defense, you want to get a stop here. Would love to put 6 more on the board before halftime. We'll take a quick timeout as we have a timeout on the field. We'll be right back. We appreciate you listening. Picayune Maroon Tide football brought to you by the Talking Ball Y'all Media Group. Back in 30 seconds.
Tucked away in the woodlands of Pearl River County is where you will find the Henry Smith House and its sister property, River Oak Manor. From an elegant Victorian estate to a sleek, cozy farmhouse, these 2 stunning venues are perfect for weddings, events, or a weekend escape. The properties offer serenity with a genuine and unique experience among pristinely beautiful grounds. Experience southern charm, modern comfort, and unforgettable moments, all in one gorgeous destination. River Oak Manor is breaking ground for continued expansion for wedding and event accommodations.
We are back, folks, here. Second down, 3:20 on the clock now. Canaan going to have 5 wide receivers, 3 to his left, 2 to his right. He calls for it. He's got it. He's looking, and he's going to find Hopgood. He's going to sit down near the sticks, but going to be short. And we have a flag on the play. Throw it in the range of defensive pass interference, defensive holding potentially. We'll have to wait for the call. Boy, it takes them a long time to figure this thing out. And not good news for the Maroon Tide. Well, they were going in that direction. The old guy on the stripes fooled us. He's going to back it off. It's a spot foul going to be on Hancock. So going to be second down. And about 10 to go here to pick up the first down. Clock is still continuing to run. We're under 3 minutes now to play. And Hawks taking a little bit of time to get this play in. 2 backs, 2 Canaan's right, 2 to his left, 1 back in the backfield beside him. And he calls for it. He's got it. Canaan looking down the field. He's going to take a shot here, and well covered by the Maroon Tide. That's Jarrell Curry in coverage, and he's on covering Thompson. Thompson, who had the big catch for a touchdown a few series ago. So now a very big third down and 10 for the Hawks. 2:37 on the clock. Clock has stopped on the incomplete pass. And Coach King going to burn a timeout to think about this one. We'll do the same. Back in 30 seconds. Picayune Maroon Tide football brought to you by the Talking Ball Y'all Media Group.
Since 2017, Cruz Law Firm has proudly served the people of South Mississippi with dedication, skill, and results. Whether you are facing a complex legal battle or simply need trusted guidance, our team will work tirelessly to deliver the outcome you deserve. Bill and his experienced team handle a wide range of legal matters, from real estate closings to personal injury, and from wills and probate to criminal defense. We've got you covered. When life gets complicated, we're here to simplify the process and fight for you. With 2 convenient locations in Pearl River County, Cruz Law Firm is ready to stand by your side. Call 769-242-2500 to schedule a consultation for your specific need. That's 769-242-2500.
We're back, folks. Third down here, Canaan with 3 wide receivers, 2 to his right, 1 to his left. He's under pressure, and they're going to get him, guys. That is going to be A.K. Burnett, who comes untouched from his right defensive tackle side, and it is going to be a sack on Canaan. So Hawks had a chance there on third down. No choice here but to punt it, try to get out of this half down at the very least 42-14, but Maroon Tide going to have 2:29 to work with here and all of their timeouts. Coach Stagner going to talk this one over with his offensive crew. Coach King going to do the same with his defense. His defense going to try to get a stop. Maroon Tide has not been turned over on downs. 6 straight possessions, 6 straight touchdowns. Maroon Tide offense have just been really, really working well tonight. Offensive line, those guys up front doing a great job. They're going to have it here at their 32-yard line of the Hawks. No, sorry, correction there. Hancock's going to punt this one. Oh, and almost blocked again by Wilson. He may have got a piece of it. But another good punt there by the Hawks. Going to take a nice, favorable bounce for them. Maroon Tide going to take over at about the 33-yard line. Let's see, they still spotted at the 34-yard line. 2:18 on the clock. Maroon Tide going to have a chance to put 6 more on the board. As Mr. Grubby just said, they'll have 2 minutes and 18 seconds to try and go 66 yards. Robertson's got it. He's going to be a quick throw to Fortenberry, and just a quick hitch route there to Fortenberry. Fortenberry not able to do a whole lot with it. Maybe got a yard, maybe back to the line of scrimmage, and that's what it's going to be. So really nice tackle there by the Hancock defender. Makes a good open field tackle. We'll bring up 2nd and 10 for the Maroon Tide after no pickup there on the play. And on 2nd down, going to be a give to McKinley. McKinley going to get a couple. McKinley going to get 3 yards on the play there. Going to bring up 3rd down and 7 for the Maroon Tide. And this one is not going to get off here as we got flags all over the field. And they're going to call it a false start on the offense. So they're going to make that 3rd and 7 a lot more. 3rd and 12. Going to put the ball back to the 32-yard line. And Coach Stagner going to burn a timeout. It's a good timeout by Coach Stagner. 3rd and 12. 51 seconds to go here in this first half. Maroon Tide on top, 42-14. You don't want to give the ball to the Hawks if you can avoid that. Let's see what Coach Stagner has up his sleeve here. Does he put it in the air? Does he keep it on the ground? Coach Stagner going to think about it. While he's thinking about it, we're going to take another quick timeout. Back in 30 seconds.
Protecting your personal belongings is a basic human instinct. You've worked hard for what you have. At Executive Storage, we are dedicated to providing you true, secure storage options and peace of mind. With 2 convenient locations to choose from, you can trust us to protect your personal, family, and business assets. Give us a call today at 601-798-4000 and let us help you protect your most prized possessions.
We're back, folks. 3rd down and 12 here. 51 seconds to go here before our Animal Health Clinic halftime show. Cole Robertson brings his group to the line of scrimmage. And 1 wide receiver to the left. He's got McKinley at the fullback. He's got Zay Dennis. He's going to be play action fake here. Lets it go. Fortenberry had a step, and boy, the defender had all of his jersey and late flag, but I'm glad they threw that one. It was pretty obvious. Fortenberry had three or four steps on the defender, and he had no choice but to grab his jersey. Not going to be where the flag was thrown, not in high school football, folks, but it is going to move the sticks and be a first down for the Maroon Tide. So 45 seconds to go now for the Maroon Tide. Clock will stop on that penalty. And now looks like we've got 2 penalties here. And we'll have to wait for the official comment here from this head umpire. I don't know if this is going to be offsetting or if both of those were on the Hawks. We'll have to see. What would have likely been a touchdown. So 2 penalties. The pass interference was 1, and there was an illegal block in the back by the Hawks. They will accept that one. That's going to be the 15-yard penalty there. So they'll take that one. That's going to move the sticks up to the 47-yard line. Maroon Tide still with 45 seconds to go. Robertson's going to look it over. Got 1 receiver to the left. It's going to be a pitch to Zay Dennis. And Zay with a nice cut. Zay's out to the middle, breaks another tackle, but drops the ball. It's knocked out, loses it on a fumble. Boy, Zay has not done that a lot this year, but that one comes out. Hit from behind by the defender, and Hancock Hawks are going to have it. They're going to take over on downs from the Maroon Tide. 36 seconds now to go in this first half. So Hancock going to have a chance here. Hawks going to have it 1st and 10 from their own 32-yard line. Be a nice pitch and catch there. Be another first down from Canaan. He's going to hook up with Thompson. It's been a favorite target of his tonight. Bryson Targan with a 68-yard touchdown already on the night. 30 seconds now to go in this first half. Maroon Tide defense trying to get out of here, get to the locker rooms, up 42-14. Canaan with 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Under a little bit of pressure and goes to his outlet there out of the backfield and missed tackle, and that's going to be another first down. That time we had Majah Talley just leaks out, the safety net guy, and under a little bit of pressure was Canaan, but finds Talley. Talley breaks a tackle, and back-to-back first downs here by the Hawks. We still have a couple of timeouts left. 22 seconds left on the clock now. It's been kind of a wild finish to this second half. Maroon Tide had a couple of chances there to put points on the board, unable to do so. And, boy, if you're the Hancock Hawks, you go in the locker room 42-21, you feel pretty good with what's been a dominant performance by the Maroon Tide. Kanan's got it. 2 wide receivers deep side, does a reverse, and he's going to look to throw and unable to come down with it. So, a weird-looking play there. Wedgeworth is the receiver in the slot to the right side. He comes in motion. Kanan pitches it back to him, and he sails one out to Hopgood. Hopgood able to catch it, but not in bounds. So now going to be second down, 13 seconds to go for the Hawks. Hawks got to go 61 yards here in 13 seconds. Kanan going to look it over. He's got 3 wide receivers to his left, got 1 to his right, got a back set to the right of him. That's going to be Tally. And flags are thrown. And we'll see. The Maroon Tidesmen were in the backfield, but were they drawn off sides by movement from the offensive line? And that's exactly what it was. The Hawks jumped early, so that's going to back them up. It's going to back them up 5. They're going to have it now at the 46-yard line, 2nd and 14. And Kanan, under pressure, they had him dead to rights, and he gets out of it, breaks another tackle along the way. Well, Kanan is special. I don't know how he got out of that. 2 Maroon Tide defenders had him in the backfield, and he just kind of squeezes through the middle of those defenders. Picks about half of it up, so he's got 3rd and 6 now, but only 4 seconds to go here in this game. So can't take those timeouts with you. Coach King going to burn one of those. And what will likely be our last play of the first half. If you're the Maroon Tide defense, you just can't let anyone get behind you. You can't let Kanan have all day to throw it either. See what Coach King dials up. We're going to just keep it here, folks, with 4 seconds to go until our Animal Health Clinic halftime show. 42-14, Maroon Tide leading this one. Hancock with one more chance, what we think will be one more chance here. And they're going to have to throw it as far as they can. And Kanan going to have 2 receivers to his right, 2 to his left. Going to have Tally set to his left. The backfield, Kanan calls for it. He's got it. Under all kinds of pressure, rolls out, and he is down the sideline. There's the buzzer, but we got to tackle him, and we can't do it. He's going to take it and run it himself. My goodness. We talked about his ability to run. That time, pocket breaks down again, and it was all Mr. Kanan's legs. Maroon Tide could not corral him, and he's going to take it 61 yards using his feet. If you're taking it in on YouTube, we appreciate you doing that. You could hear the buzzer go off. No time left. We tackle him, it's over. We go into halftime, but we can't do it. He's going to go in. Extra point is going to be good, so 21-42. Is going to be your score here at the half. And Hancock offense struggled early, but really got things going there in the second quarter. 42-21 going to be your score here, and we'll give you a quick recap of how we got there. So Hancock, their first 3 drives all ended in punts. Picayune, first 3 drives. Dennis goes in from 6 yards out. Goes in again from 70 yards out. and Robertson hooks up with Ontario Wilkins. So it's 21-0. Wilkins to Robertson. That was a 27-yard pitch and catch. And then the Hancock Hawks get something going. They come back with a 45-yard screen pass that Hopgood takes for a touchdown. That puts them on the board and makes the game 21-7. Jordan Hawthorne comes back with a 52-yard touchdown and make it 28-7. And then Canaan hooks up with Bryson Thompson for a 68-yard touchdown, make it 28-14. Hawthorne answers with another long run, this time 34 yards out to make it 35-14. And then Jamari Hawthorne gets an interception, stops their scoring threat, stays 35-14. Robertson hooks up with Zay Dennis for a 65-yard touchdown. Maroon Tide go up 42-14. And then a Zay Dennis fumble gives the ball back to the Hawks. And with 4 seconds left, Canaan pulls it down, calls his own number, and goes 61 yards with no time left on the clock to put Hancock back in this ball game, 42-21 at your half. We're going to take a quick timeout. When we come back, Darren Uzo will be joining us in the booth here, and we'll get his thoughts on the first half. We appreciate you listening. Talking Ball, y'all. Media Group bringing you Picayune football, 42-21 Animal Health Clinic on the backside of this 2-minute timeout.
Tucked away in the woodlands of Pearl River County is where you will find the Henry Smith House and its sister property, River Oak Manor. From an elegant Victorian estate to a sleek, cozy farmhouse, these two stunning venues are perfect for weddings, events, or a weekend escape. The properties offer serenity with a genuine and unique experience among pristinely beautiful grounds. Experience southern charm, modern comfort, and unforgettable moments, all in one gorgeous destination. River Oak Manor is breaking ground for continued expansion for wedding and event accommodations and are booking reservations for 2026 and beyond. Visit bearriveroakmanor.com and start planning for your perfect getaway today.
Looking to buy or sell your land, home, or commercial property in Pearl River County? Then it's time to call the hometown experts at Valente Real Estate. Our friendly local team is here to make sure your real estate dreams come true with personalized home searches, expert guidance, and flexible property showings that work around your schedule. From the first showing to the final signature, we're right by your side, making sure your experience is smooth, stress-free, and right on time. At Valente Real Estate, we believe in more than just closing deals. We build lasting relationships, one happy client at a time. So whether you're ready to find your dream home or sell your current property, visit us at 109 North Main Street in downtown Picayune or give us a call at 601-799-3477. Valente Real Estate, where your next chapter begins.
Need a plumber? Let Harold's Plumbing help you with that. Whether it's new construction or just a plumbing repair, Harold can make it happen. Harold's Plumbing is licensed and can do both residential and commercial jobs. Give Harold's Plumbing a call at 601-273-0598 and let him handle all your plumbing and septic tank services.
Healthy pets, happy people, exceptional medicine, compassionate care. That's our motto at the Animal Health Clinic in Picayune. Located at 500 Kelly Road, we are equipped with the latest veterinary technology and provide a full menu of animal health services, including after-hours emergencies. Dr. Alan Smith invites you to join our clinic family by checking out our website at ahcpicayune.com or calling us at 601-799-1300.
Welcome into our Animal Health Clinic halftime show. 42-21, you score here. Picayune leading this one at home. Homecoming night for the Maroon Tide. And Darren Uzel now joining me in the booth. Darren, dominant start to this game. Maroon Tide 21 unanswered. Hancock Hawks punted 3 times, but end the half with 3 out of 4 scoring drives. Hawthorne had the interception on their second to last drive there, but Hancock Hawks hanging around, and boy, you could almost feel it there at the end. I'm like, we got to make sure Canaan doesn't pull it and go. He can go. Your thoughts on the first half?
Yeah, Rick, it was like you said, it was dominant. We had our offense was dominant the first half, and just letting Hancock hang around, like you said, they still flying around, and they landing some touchdowns right now. With 4 seconds left in the half, you can't let that happen. I mean, it was some missed tackles. There was a lot of missed tackles on that drive that Hancock had this last little bit, and but they threw a little drop off to the run back, missed tackle. He got extra 10, 15 yards. And then a quarterback scrambled a little bit, missed tackles. And then he finally made them pay with that long run. I mean, he's slippery. He got some moves to him. And you got to, I mean, he's good. He's good. Probably better running the football than he might be throwing. He throws a pretty ball, but he's dangerous on the ground. And you thinking with 4 seconds left he would probably throw it, but he tucked it and took it to the house. And we couldn't get a hand on him. And he just juked us. So that was disappointing to see them, to see us miss those many tackles and to end the half the way we ended when we were so dominant at the first half. But Zay, we was going in for the touchdown here at the end of the half, and I think Zay was swapping the ball from the inside hand to the outside hand, as you should as a running back. And I think as he was doing that, they come in and they stripped it. That's what it looked like from this view. So. That was unfortunate to see because that's really kind of uncharacteristic of Zay there. But anyway, it's disappointing. It's homecoming night, and I know these boys wanted to finish this game early, but that's not going to be the case. Nope.
Yeah, I mean, and look, you got to give a lot of credit to Canaan. First off, I want to mention just Nolan Wilson probably had 8 or 9 tackles, several sacks, several tackles for a loss, really dominating early, but Canaan really hung in there. I mean,
he has.
He takes the field. They hit 3 consecutive punting drives for the offense, and just hangs in there. It was a good play call by Coach King. When you got an aggressive defense, you throw a screen, and they executed it well. But he hung in there and made some throws under a lot of pressure.
He did.
Had Jackson and A.K. Burnett in his face on one throw, but.
Yeah, right over here.
Yeah, I mean, you got to credit him for hanging in there and making those plays. But boy, this Maroon Tide offense. If you joined us late, I'll give you some numbers.
Man, they rolling.
Jordan Hawthorne 3 for 88 yards and 2 touchdowns. Zay Dennis 13 for 257 and 2 touchdowns. He's also got a 65-yard reception in the ground, so he's over 300 all-purpose yards tonight. And then you've got Ontario Wilkins, who had a touchdown for 27 yards. So Colt Robertson, 3 of 5 on the night, 92 yards, 2 touchdowns. Maroon Tide offense as a unit, we were averaging about 341 on the ground.
Yeah.
In the first half, 18 for 351, 4 touchdowns, 18 for 351.
First half,
4 touchdowns.
First half.
That's just under 20 yards per carry.
In the first half.
In the first half.
Say it again in the first half. I mean, really, it's just, man, offense was, and it has. It's just, we put up numbers that usually a game in 4 quarters it takes. We did it in 2 quarters, and then and Stoggs, no doubt, proud of that on that side, and the coaching staff is, but to end it the way we ended it, and because it should be 49-14.
Yeah. No, and I agree with you. I think the missed tackles, you definitely can't you can't have that. But I think some of the execution, you got to just tip your hat at a good athlete in Canaan. I tell you, man, we were still in the first quarter. There was a couple people that made their exits back to Hancock. I mean, I had a guy come through here. He grumbled several unpleasantries on his way down the steps, and he's going to be back home early, but probably wondering why he left at this point. If he got service on,
he ain't got it.
He ain't got service yet. If he's probably still on
Texas
Flat Road. He ain't got it yet, but when he gets it, he's going to wonder why he left.
Yeah, he will.
So gonna be an interesting wild half here. But I want to do something a little bit different tonight before we go into our first break here and come back, and Darren gives us some scores from around the the district here. But want to recognize our Picayune Maroon Tide, our faculty, and we'll talk about our band. So tonight, we're going to welcome in Maroon Tide Marching Band. The director is Mr. Johnny Cockrell. We have Colton Powell, Brandon Hutchinson, DJ Carpenter, Lacey Seal, Patricia Milton, David Kersey, Sherry Espino, and Kevin Whitlow. And then want to recognize our faculty and staff, Picayune Memorial High School Principal, Ms. Christy Mitchell. Assistant principals are Tony Tucci and Adam Feely, and Assistant Superintendent Mr. Walt Esslinger, and our Superintendent Dean Shaw. Maroon Tide taking the field now. If you're taking us in on the YouTube stream, getting ready to perform the Castaways, followed by the Pride of the Tide and their traditional kick routine, Maroon and Gray Memory March, under the direction of Dr. Kelly Bowler, Abby Montgomery, and Tabitha Stagner. Maroon Tide Band under the direction of drum majors Sam Min and Cadence Cecil. So want to recognize those guys as they get ready to perform here. We're going to take another timeout. When we come back, we'll look at some scores from around our district, Pearl River County, and anything else that Darren Uzell finds intriguing as we look at our scores. We appreciate you taking us in on our Animal Health Clinic halftime show here. You're listening to Picayune Maroon Tide football, brought to you by the Talkin' Ball Y'all Media Group.
A lot goes into powering this community. That's why your Touchstone Energy Cooperative wants you to know we've got you. It's a pledge to make sure you're always taken care of. A pledge we honor every day. From our member service representatives to our linemen and those making sure the power you use is there when you need it. We've got you. Always.
Brought to you by Coast Electric, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
Friday night lights, hometown pride, and neighbors you can count on. That's what makes our community special. And that's exactly what you'll find at FNB Picayune Bank, your hometown bank. With 4 convenient branches in Picayune, you'll always see the same friendly faces ready to help, whether it's everyday checking or big life goals. Visit fnbop.com or stop by today, where banking feels like home.
All right, folks, we're back here. Got about just under the 8-minute mark here to go in our Animal Health Clinic halftime show. Maroon Tide Marching Band, Pride of the Tide on the field now. As we mentioned, they are performing their Castaways routine, so appreciate you taking that in. Darren Uzell, let's look at our district. Let's start there. Anything that's standing out to you there? Give us some scores from around our district.
I don't know. The pass that go long beat score. Man, I went to Score Stream and looked at and WLOX and looked. They just don't want to post nothing. It's 0-0 showing up first quarter between them two. Then we got, well, of course, it's 42-21 us. PRC Blue Devils 3-0 over Gaucher Gators there in Carrier. So PRC 3-0 against the Gaucher Gators. That pretty much covers our district. Poplarville 26-12, I believe it is. Nope, and that's 34-12 at halftime. So we have that.
Who's Poplarville got this week?
South Pike Eagles.
South Pike Eagles.
South Pike Eagles. Yes, okay. Indeed. So really, that covers us up to the 7A. 7A, we got Gulfport 21-14 over West Harrison. The Iberville 20-3 over St. Martin. We have Biloxi 10-0 over Harrison Central. Now, like I said, these are scores coming off WLOX. It may be a little different.
Hey, look, I mean, we've talked about how good West Harrison is this year, and Gulfport has looked like world beaters here lately. Exactly. And 21-14 ball game. That's interesting.
It is.
I think the 7A stuff on the South is going to come down to the end. I don't think it's determined yet.
No,
I think,
indeed not.
I think early on, Ocean Springs looked like they were going to be the team to beat, but now Gulfport surging back. You can't forget about D'Iberville and West Harrison. Those running schools, I'm telling you.
Yeah, and
these
these
defenses are not built to stop those runs. Not with their guys. You got to have 3-4 guys that can drop back in coverage.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah, that's tough against that that rush attack there.
You got 3 guys in coverage that need to come up and tackle somebody too.
Yeah.
Good luck.
You got to tackle people.
And later we get in the season, these kids get They do get gun shy. I'm just
Yeah.
going to go ahead and tell you.
Well, speaking of that, later in the season.
Here we go.
So you had preseason. I'm going to give you preseason.
Oh, my goodness.
We in district now.
Oh, we're in district.
We're in district play now.
This counts?
So this counts. This all counts.
All
so I'm
right.
gonna give you 3 games to pick.
You should give
I'm
me
gonna give
heads
you 3 games to choose from, but you only take one for an upset alert, and then I'm gonna give you something else.
Son, this
You're gonna have 5 total. All right, so
you're gonna have to repeat the instructions as you go.
so here's your 3 to pick. LSU, Vandy. Who you got?
Oh, I'm going Vandy.
All right.
I'm going. Well, I mean, my heart says Vandy. I mean,
Number 10 and
o'clock.
number 17 playing. That's going to be a good game.
Yeah.
All right, battle of number 5 and number 9, Georgia and Ole Miss.
I'm going Ole Miss.
Going Ole
I'm going
Miss.
Ole Miss tomorrow. Yeah, let's go Ole Miss.
All right.
I mean,
All right,
anyway.
the team that Nick Saban said is the best one-loss team in the country, Tennessee, Alabama. Who you got in that one?
Man, them dogs should have beat them.
They should have, yeah.
They should have beat them. I'm going Alabama.
Going Bama.
Look, son, that right there. That's
All
it.
right.
You know it. That's
All right, so I'm going to give you got 3 to choose from, but you can only pick one.
All right.
So this is
There you
upset
go.
alert.
Upset,
all right?
all right.
Here's your options.
I like it.
Louisville upsetting Miami.
Okay.
Kentucky upsetting Texas. Or South Carolina upsetting Oklahoma. You only can choose one.
Oh, man. Well, you know, Rick, I'm on that South Carolina. For some reason, man, I'm going South Carolina upsetting Oklahoma after Arch Manning went in there and upset Oklahoma last week. Well, it really wasn't upset, but he showed off a little bit.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know, Oklahoma's going to be – they're going to be ready to show themselves that they're legit, but I think South Carolina is going to win. I think they're going to win the game. Yes, that's where my upset alert.
All right. And then here's your last pick. You got Delta State.
Delta State fighting Okra?
In Cleveland, Mississippi. They're playing Ferrum College. Who you liking that one?
Delta State statesman to fighting Okra. Man,
It's in Cleveland, Mississippi.
Ferrum?
Ferrum.
Okay, I do like the name. I'm going with Delta State. I'm going with, let's
All
go
right.
with old Pascal, son, old Picayune Maroon Tiesman up there. They're going to do something. They're going to win.
Yeah, we got an alumni up there. So
old Pascal. Yeah,
so,
fighting Okra.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Get
get
your
your
oil
oil
change
change
at
to
pit
pit
lane.
lane, son,
Yep.
and go for them fighting Okra. I got a fighting Okra T-shirt, man.
Yeah, Pascal's been good to us and good to our broadcast.
Yeah.
So
Go ahead and write that down in stone if you want to.
So you went Delta State. You went both in-state schools. So I like that. So
Am I going to have to take a picture of that before I leave?
no, I got it wrote down. You can take a picture if you want. But here's the thing:
All right.
every school that we pick that you're not going to be aware of, just as you saw tonight, is going to have a Picayune alumni playing there.
Really?
Yeah.
You have done your homework.
Maybe it's a present Picayune alumni. Maybe it's somebody that played there 20 years ago.
Oh, okay. All right.
We don't know.
I like it.
We don't
I like
know.
It. And so you get to hear my picks that I probably want to hit, but we're going to learn some history.
Yeah, learn some history.
Yeah, I like it.
Steve,
That's good, Rick.
we need to learn something. All right, well, that's that. We got our district scores, the ones that we had. Maroon Tide band doing a really good job with their castaway stuff. Appreciate you taking that in.
Let me say this, man. Thank God for the band, man. Hey, look, these guys and girls put in a lot of time in the summertime, and you see them out here with the football team. They're working too. And boy, Friday nights wouldn't be the same if you didn't have the band.
Yep.
I'm telling you, they bring a lot to the atmosphere.
Yep. So we are about under 2 minutes now to go here with our Animal Health Clinic halftime show. I want to thank Dr. Alan Smith for being our sponsor. I want to thank Clay Sweet for making it back safely and taking over his play-by-play duties. Apologize for you guys having listened to me on that, and I apologize to those couple of Hawks fans who made the exits early in the first quarter. We got a barn burner going here.
They don't have no reception on Texas Flat right now. They still think it's 42-14.
They might think it's 42-14, but
it's 42-14.
it is 42-21. Hawks have fought back here, and it's going to be a good one, folks. Hang around. You're not going to want to miss this one. Clay Sweet going to be back on the call here, and what we think is going to be a great second half. We appreciate you listening, taking us in on Friday night, taking in our live stream, 42-21, your score, second half action on the backside of this commercial break. You're listening to Picayune Maroon Tide football, brought to you by the Talking Ball Y'all Media Group. Appreciate Darren User for joining us.
Always enjoy it. Roll Tide.
goes into powering this community. That's why your Touchstone Energy Cooperative wants you to know we've got you. It's a pledge to make sure you're always taken care of. A pledge we honor every day. From our member service representatives to our linemen and those making sure the power you use is there when you need it. We've got you. Always.
Brought to you by Coast Electric, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
Healthy pets, happy people, exceptional medicine, compassionate care. That's our motto at the Animal Health Clinic in Picayune. Located at 500 Kelly Road, we are equipped with the latest veterinary technology and provide a full menu of animal health services, including after-hours emergencies. Dr. Alan Smith invites you to join our clinic family by checking out our website at ahcpicayune.com or calling us at 601-799-1300.
Hello, football fans. Devin Smith here with Remax Premier Group in Picayune. It's August, and that means one thing. It's football season. Our area schools have worked so hard to give us all something to be excited about. I take great pride in my football roots in Pearl River County, and I'm honored to serve our people. I look forward to helping residents, both old and new, make Pearl River County their home. I would love to help you with any and all of your real estate needs. You can contact me at our office, 601-798-3399 or 601-347-2641, or you can catch me in the stands cheering on my favorite players under those Friday night lights.
Making decisions on when and where to further your education is a big step in life. So let Pearl River Community College be the destination for you. Pearl River offers the first 2 years of any major and over 42 career and technical programs. They have 3 locations to better serve your educational needs. The Hancock Center at 454 Highway 90 Suite D in Waveland. The Forest County Center at 5448 Highway 49 South in Hattiesburg. And the main campus located at 101 Highway 11 North in Poplarville. Pearl River Community College. Roll, River, roll.
Great job there at the half as usual by Darren Uzel and my man Ricky Whitaker. Good job steering the ship, dude, with a little play-by-play action in that second half. I can't believe you gave up a touchdown, though, there right before the breaks. Made this one a bit more interesting as I ride back at the old ballpark here at Lee Triplett Stadium. I want to say a special thanks to our swim team up in Tupelo preparing for their state title swimming tomorrow. Good luck to those guys. And, of course, Jeremy Shesby, Macon Burnett's on that trip as well. So they've got plenty of chaperoning and guidance there as Shesby's the swim coach.
Yep.
And, of course, Macon Burnett, a swim team member fighting back from that injury. He'll, I'm sure, be given great moral support. We do wish them the best of luck. And then we mentioned the band, too. I think Darren spotted that out. I'm not sure. Did you get any info in on them coming into? Look at you. Look at y'all.
Yep.
Checking all the boxes, man.
Try to hit on everything, man. We recognize our administrators and faculty, the band folks. We did all of that. They did a great job tonight.
Absolutely. Here's the kickoff of the second half. That's Fortenberry back deep, and he will make a heady play. He'll let it roll out of bounds, and it got out of bounds at about the 2-yard line. So Ty going to benefit from that penalty, Rick, and going to have pretty good starting field position. It's odd that I'm going to ask you to do this, but I'm pretty sure the only time that the Tide have been stopped tonight was due to a fumble right there by Dennis before the half.
Yep.
So really
6 straight score drives and then had a fumble.
So the Tide have not really been stopped kind of from the defensive side from Hancock, but you do have to credit them, I guess, with causing that fumble. But some gaudy rushing numbers here for the Maroon Tide. Big numbers, 351 so far on the ground.
Yeah, we're over our 4-quarter average here, which is pretty good.
Yeah, I would say so at the half. tied on top, 42-21. Here's our first play from scrimmage. Zay Dennis loose again, midfield. What a cut. Here he goes, 20. Makes another cut at the 10. He'll score. Zay Dennis, what a job to start this half. A beautiful run there by Zay Dennis. 65 yards later, Mr. Dennis got to be close to clipping that 300-yard mark on his own.
Yep.
A big rushing touchdown here for the Tide to get the party started in the second half.
Yeah, Clay, Zay Dennis went into the half with 300 all-purpose yards. He had the 65-yard touchdown reception from Brady. But this is going to put him over the mark now. 14 rushes, 322 yards, 3 touchdowns, add on another reception for 65 yards and a touchdown. He is knocking on the 400-yard overall mark on the night, all-purpose yards.
Incredible. We just talked about Jeremy Shesby. Of course, he's a local agent here with Farm Bureau. They are our player of the game and player of the week sponsor. Somebody in the county is going to have to go a ways to snatch that T-shirt out of the grasp of Zay Dennis, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, and boy, Diamond Productions, they're getting their money tonight on these one-play scoring drive summaries.
Yeah, them and Angela with Exotic Stones. I try to kind of rotate that love back and forth on our point after, and both getting our money's worth is Edgar Cruz once again perfect. So the Tide kind of get that touchdown back that they gave up to close the half, get this lead out to 28 again, leading at 49-21. Just one play drives. How many summaries is that 3 drive summaries that have just been the one play for the Tide? Incredible.
Yep, Hawthorne had him one. Been several tonight. Zay's had a couple, but boy, Zay averaging 23 yards per touch is just incredible in itself. And not to be lost in that is Cole Robertson, 3 for 5 on the night. He's nearing the 100-yard mark with 2 touchdowns through the air.
Yeah, he's been so good. You had Brady hooking up with Zay back in the first half on that one. He said Zay caught one for Brady. It's like, man, you've done so much over that spreadsheet. I asked you to fill in play-by-play. Like, I have asked a lot. You've been in Minneapolis for most of the week on a work trip.
It was quiet up here, brother. I missed you, man. I tell you, they say you don't know what you got till it's gone. I mean, I know that, but boy, it was quiet up here without you.
Yeah, man. Well, I'm glad to be back, and I appreciate getting to listen to you. The technology that is being able to kind of keep up with every snap, just like our folks at home are able to do. We appreciate Jackson Harrelson up top bringing the camera work. We appreciate Diamond Productions sponsoring and helping us this year put together a quality video stream.
So he's got Eddie Cruz right in our living rooms, don't he?
Here's a line drive kick, the first one that's not going to be a touchback after the penalty from Cruz. Tide had gotten started a bit earlier on that last one, and so this is going to be
and one thing Darren mentioned at the half I thought was a good point. He brought up the Zay fumble. I thought maybe someone hit him from behind. He thought that he was switching the ball from his outside hand to his inside hand, and that's when it came out. But he mentioned, as we talked about, Canaan, you tip your hat to him, but the tackling got kind of sloppy there in the second quarter.
Yep, Ty going to have to tighten that back up. We'll see. 1 wide receiver. Nope, they'll put 2 over there now. 2 to the top of your screen, 3 to the bottom in this set. An empty backfield for Canaan and that shotgun. That's where he's been all night long. Hawks snap it from their own 30-yard line. Going to be a gain of about 7. A good pitch and catch here from Canaan to Hobgood.
And we've seen them run that a lot with Hobgood. It's just a 7-yard sit route. He kind of pushes the cornerback back and finds a spot to sit down there, but it's a nice pickup. It's good as a running play. Going to be second and short and give them some additional options here if they want to take a shot.
Yep, 2nd and 4. Ball at the 37-yard line of Hancock. Same formation and same result. The exact same play, which I like in high school football a lot. If they didn't stop it, make them adjust, and them in this case is the Tide on defense. And the same result. Hobgood with a good catch, a good run after the catch. have it to the 45, and that's enough for the first down.
And one thing we know, Clay, is that they have a hitch-and-go type play in their arsenal. You've had back-to-back hitch-type throws. Do they do a pump here and take a shot?
2 wide receivers to the bottom of the set, 1 to the top. Tailback off the left hip of Canaan. He'll follow that tailback, or look to, was unable to follow the tailback. That was another great play by Nolan Wilson. He got help by Brody Kirkland. So a good job there by Wilson and Kirkland, which reminds me, I got a message from Brody Kirkland's mother this week. Something that I had said we would do at the beginning of the year, and we will do now. We said we would announce people that had helped with some of the senior stuff that has gone on with the football program. That is Ashton Cuevas. It was her birthday this week as well. Brandy McKinley, and, of course, Josh and Amy Robertson for the senior football players. Here's another big run by Canaan. 40, dances past the 35 up to the 32-yard line. He is just a tough customer, Rick, to bring down. I mean, we've seen that time and time again. Saw it a good bit last year. He's got it to, they're going to spot it at the 33, but look at this run by Canaan.
And that's the play we were looking for, Clay. That was the hitch and go. I was a play late on it, but he pulls it down. It was well covered by the Maroon Tide and does it with his feet.
Yep, and with that, when you describe well covered, that's getting defensive backs. They just keep gaining ground down the field and puts Canaan in some good open spaces to run through. Here he's looking to get loose. He's dropped all the way back to the 45, and look at this escape and pitch out to Hobgood. Hobgood able to make the catch, but that could have been a huge loss for Canaan. His athletic ability allows him to toss it forward to Hobgood. There will be a 3 or 4 yard loss on the play on the completion. That tells you how far Canaan had worked back.
Yep. And, boy, had Zay Jackson just bearing down on him, took a shot, but he's done that 3 or 4 times tonight where he's hung in there and got rid of the ball.
Canaan 6'3", 185. 2 wides to the right, 1 long wide receiver to the bottom. That is Thompson, who has a touchdown earlier in the ball game. Here's Wilson going to get to Canaan. That's going to be intentional grounding, I would think, as he dumps it about 3 yards out in front of him. Kind of a spike job there as Nolan Wilson was bearing down on him. It's a heady play if he survives it, but what are they going to call here? That's definitely not a fumble, right?
Nah, it was a forward pass, but
why are they spotting it back then, Rick? It's either intentional grounding or an incomplete pass, but you can't spot it right there. What did I miss?
No, I mean, it's going to be a penalty.
It's either incomplete or intentional grounding. You can't spot it right there, can you?
Well, it is a penalty for intentional grounding. So
I didn't see the penalty. I didn't see a flag. I didn't see anything marked off. They just continued to play.
That's strange. I don't know. These crews have been tough all year.
Here's Canaan going to throw it incomplete. Was trying to find an intended wide receiver at about the 40-yard line, but it will be incomplete. Trying to work back to it was Wedgeworth.
Yeah, and at this point, I mean, I don't disagree with them if they decide to go for it here. Really, you haven't done anything to stop the Maroon Tide offense tonight. They stopped themselves with a fumble, so I think you got to go for it here.
And they will. Hancock not going to budge with its offense. Beyond midfield to the 48 of the Tide, it is 4th and awfully long here.
We've already seen Canaan pull one down and go 61 yards with no time to play in the first half. So
that's a good point. He'll take a shot here. It'll be incomplete. Wedgeworth got his feet tangled with Quinn. He'll fall down, and the pass will go over his head. Incomplete. So the Tide going to survive it and going to get off the field. A turnover on downs. Good job there by the Tide.
Yeah, Maroon Tide with a chance now to really put some distance between them and the Hawks. They can get some points here.
And distance is what you need, right? Facing this type of offense, and in particular 3. You want to put as much difference between you and Canaan as you can get. tied up by 28, 7:27 to go in the third quarter. See what the Tide can go get here in the second half. What kind of number would you guess? Slick, maybe a 63 spot?
Yeah.
Here's Dennis dancing over to the left. One of the few times tonight you're going to put a 0 or 1 in his yardage total mark. He has had big run after big run, but the Hawks were up to the task there.
Yep. Hancock Hawks defense step up, but boy, yeah, he's had a 70-yarder. Hawthorne had a 52 and a 34, had a 65-yard touchdown pass, and then that last one, boy, was a good one too.
So 2nd and 10 with no gain on the play from the Tide 48. Ball over on the right hash will be thrown out quickly and caught by Hawthorne. He's quickly across to the 41. So it was a quick pass, and then Hawthorne quickly advanced forward. This should be a first down as they'll wait and mark it. I saw you got a little dose of that waiting on some penalties and waiting on the spot there in that play-by-play role. I can't say I didn't chuckle trying to go catch.
Well, you've been dealing with that for a long time, huh?
Yeah, 3rd and half a yard here, Rick, as they're going to say, oh, look at this. We're going to get an old measurement here. This is always fun to see how this plays out. Man, oh, man, let's see if this thing can be executed better than it was last week. Last week they tried this, which was humorous because they almost just waved off the crew once and they're having to go to full distance of the field.
If they've got it on the 42, it's going to be a pickup. It's a 10-yard pickup.
It should be a first down, but let's wait and see when they stretch these old chains out. They brought the down marker and everything else slick across the way. Boy, first down. Man, what an adventure.
I mean, it shows up 10 right here. I mean, Excel can add and subtract.
Yeah, man. Here we go. Tide going to move the sticks. Going to be a first down opportunity. Tide have scored 49 here with 6:31 still left in the third quarter. Where are we on the overall rushing total there?
426 on 21 carries. That's almost 21 yards a carry.
Incredible. As Colt Robertson's been busy tonight, too. He's had a nice night. He'll go under center. He's got 2 wide receivers out to the right of the formation. Will be a toss to, I want to say Dennis, but was that Hawthorne? Let me see. Yep, that was Jordan. That was Hawthorne who got it. So let's credit Jordan with that 6-yard pickup.
Yep, we'll do that. And that last pitch and catch between Robertson and Hawthorne is going to put Colt Robertson over the century mark through the air.
Boy, everybody getting it done tonight for the Tide on the offensive side. So 2nd and 4 from the 36. You've got Colin Agana in at the fullback position. That's Hawthorne at the tailback. It's a gift to Agana. Look at him walk through a hole for a 36-yard touchdown run for Colin Agana. As Agana going to have a 36-yard touchdown run. That's his 2nd touchdown on the year for the sophomore. A great defensive player, really good fullback for the Tide, and he's gotten us to a 55 spot here with a 36-yard touchdown run by Mr. Colin Agana. We'll await the diamond production point after. Good snapback, holds good. The kick from Cruz, and he's perfect on the night. 8 times he's been able to strike it through for the diamond production point after. And look at this, Rick. Agana and then this PAT group get the Tide to a 56-21 lead.
Yeah, Maroon Tide only run 4 plays there, Clay. They go 52 yards, take a minute 44 seconds off the clock, and it's Agana who breaks one. I believe it's the first time he's touched the ball tonight, and it was, according to my stat sheet here. It goes in from 36 yards out to extend this lead, and Maroon Tide coming out and starting the third quarter much like they did the first quarter.
Yeah, it's very impressive, man, these numbers that they're going to talk about in our Exotic Stones and Pearl River Community College postgame show, and then on our postgame pod are going to be incredible if this math holds up. You look at it, this has been done before against this Hancock defense in the form of Ty Keys. Mr. Keys had a night against this same unit. Ty doing it more in of a collective way. Tylen was kind of the one-man wrecking crew back earlier in the season.
Yeah, and Keys' group had 54 put on them by Hancock, too. So I think that speaks to the talent, especially with Canaan.
And look at this. As Cruz just one time tonight has not been able to put it into the end zone and was probably instructed to at that point. But he just keeps adding to this touchback total. Will be near the 20 touchback on the season for Edgar Cruz. Don't forget, soccer program having a car wash at Buy Low Auto Parts in the morning. That is from 8 to noon. This ball game should be over by the time that car wash starts, Slick, at this pace.
Yep.
We keep going back and forth, 56 to 21. 3 wides to the bottom of the set. He'll go back to the other side, and this is going to be an incomplete pass. A good dislodging of the football by a defensive back. That's Hathorn. It was a nice throw. It was on target, just not held on to. Good job by Hathorn. Harvernick had it momentarily, but Moto able to knock it loose. He's a bit shaken up. He laid there for a moment, but now he's back up and out in coverage. 3 wide receivers to the top, 2 to the bottom. And this is the same young man able to squeeze it and fall forward after the catch to the 20. Let's see where they're going to put him down at the 27 to make it 3rd and 3. Canaan can get it out of his hands quickly. Did on that one. 3rd and 3 here for the Tide. Defensively, facing this empty back set. 5 wide spread across, 2 to the top of the formation, 3 to the bottom. Quick pitch and incomplete, just wide of his intended wide receiver on the far sideline. He was trying to find Aspen Farr, but just wide of him. Now here's a choice to make, Rick, because you're kind of pinned deep, but you're trying to hold serve. And I think Coach Mikey King, probably going to go for it here, and he will. You're back at your 27, Rick, but you've kind of shown that you haven't been able to stop the Tide regardless of the size of the field in front of them. So I don't hate this go for it from Coach King's perspective.
No, I think he's just thinking that his best defense is a good offense, right? So he's going to try to pick this thing up and maybe try to run some of this clock, but it's not a crazy thought process with Canaan, especially with giving it down a distance here. It's not a whole lot.
Yep, it's 4th, and we'll call it about 2.5 yards to get. A couple whistles here as they're trying to get the play clock, I believe, reset. So Tide lead at 56 to 21, 2:30 to go here in our 3rd quarter. I had mentioned the guys getting over to the dance early with potentially a hot clock. That seems like 2 days ago, Rick. That's back when it was 21 to 0. That will not be happening as we're at the 9 o'clock mark, and we still have 2:30 left in this 3rd quarter. It is a 4th and about 2.5, Rick.
So Maroon Tide up 35. Is 42 a 42-point lead? Is that I think that's the hot clock. We hadn't had one in a while, so I've forgotten.
4th and 2.5, and I don't want to lie to you, Rick. Here is Canaan trying to go hard off the right side, lowered his head. We'll have to see where they spot it. He's going to be short of the 30. I think the nose of the football had to get to the 30. Let's see where they casually just place it down. A little rhyme or reason here. Let's see. They moved it all the way to the Tide sideline.
He's looking the Tide way. Yep.
Yep. It's going to be turnover on downs. Tide able to get the stop. Needed the nose of the football, I believe, to get to the 30 and didn't. So Tide going to turn over the Hawks on downs. Look how close that is, too, Rick.
Yeah, you would think that would be the one to spot. I'd bring the chains out on, I guess, homecoming. They want to get their pageantry in tonight too, but I think that was the wrong one to do it on. This would have been the one.
Yeah, a little odd there. Heritage across the way here, leading its opponent 32 to 6 or 8. I'll have to go back and look at that score that was just sent to us by Donnie Pascal. So Heritage Christian Academy, with that win, would qualify for the MAIS playoffs. There's going to be a timeout burn, as that was going to be Tanner Rayburn in at quarterback. Sometimes with some new personnel, Rick, you'll get this timeout, and you will, just to kind of get things straight, get things organized. You'll have to help me here, Rick, make sure that we don't get fresh faces. And when I say that, you had a ninth grade club who was incredible, played for the for the ninth grade championship, weren't able to win that game against Gulfport, but boy, they had a tremendous season, and you had several of those young men earn themselves a varsity jersey for the rest of the way, and I want to honor that.
Just got a score update, too, from the comments in the live stream. Someone saying 17-0, Purvis Central up on Gaucher. They were up 3-0 at the half when Darren Uzel gave that score.
So that was Zayden Foxworth, Donovan Banks, Rico Javery, and DJ Durr who have been pulled up. And actually, that's Banks lined up closest to us, Rick. Have to give him some pointers. If he wants his name shouted out, he's going to have to unfold that jersey a bit. But I know Banks' walk and his gait from here, that's Banks in tight to us. And here's a run going to be inside the 20-yard line. That was a good, quick run for the Tide. That was Kendall Jett with the run. That was Jett, I believe, first touch of the season. Is Kendall able to go get the yardage for the first down? He'll get it inside the 20. We'll put it down at the 19. So that was Kendall Jett with the run. Igana at the fullback is a give to Jett. Jett trying to make the corner. Was able to make the edge a bit to the tune of the 11-yard line. About a 7-yard pickup there by Kendall Jett, sophomore back. And that will do it for our third quarter action. We'll head to the fourth with the Tide on top, 56-21 over the visiting Hancock Hawks.
Protecting your personal belongings is a basic human instinct. You've worked hard for what you have. At Executive Storage, we are dedicated to providing you true, secure storage options and peace of mind. With 2 convenient locations to choose from, you can trust us to protect your personal, family, and business assets. Give us a call today at 601-798-4000 and let us help you protect your most prized possessions.
We'll now get a report from Greg Ducker down on the Tide sideline after a profitable third quarter for your Picayune Maroon Tide.
Clay, Ricky, the offense has continued to run effortlessly. I tell you what, putting up video game type numbers tonight. And coaches seem to have inspired the defense at halftime as they have really come out and made a better showing. So we're going to see how the Tide can finish this one out, guys.
Good job there on our Exotic Stone sideline report. Greg Ducker saying that the Tide were inspired at the half. I like that.
We're trying to give the numbers of these guys that have checked in on the offensive line. See number 75 is checked in. That's going to be Peyton Baker. Number 58, that's going to be Ben Thompson. 59, Michael Williams is checked in, and we'll try to get you a few more numbers as we can see them.
Good job by you. Here is Zayden Foxworth. Did he get in? That's the 9th grader. Just pulled up for the Tide as Mr. Foxworth. Ricky Whitaker, you're going to want to know him. He's going to be in that old Excel spreadsheet of yours for the next 3 years. I'm talking about fun is Zayden Foxworth. He'll check out, but he got it down to the 1, did Zay. I know everything in him wanted to score there, but he did get it down to the 1, 56-21. Tide lead it. Igana at the fullback. It will be a fake to him and a give right up the middle behind Igana, but stuff not in goes Kendall Jett. Jett not able to get it in.
We've got a 29 in at tight end, Clay. I don't have a name
That's
for him.
Donovan Banks. That's the 9th
Banks.
grader.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the 9th grader Banks.
So, boy, what valuable snaps for these 9th grade kids to come in and play.
But look at this. The younger brother of Zay Dennis, who has over 300 yards tonight, DJ Durr, has checked in at the tailback spot. He's a thumper. Oh, and we jumped all sides. We were going to get a give to the 9th grader and Durr, but we moved over on the right side, and, man, I was in full-on DJ Durr from 1 yard out, and we were going to have Dennis with a big night and little brother get his first varsity touchdown, but we didn't hold our water over on the right side, so Ty now going to back up to the 6. They're still in there. That's Igana in front of him. Rayburn at the quarterback position. A pitch and a hard hit. Stood up and stopped. That was Dito coming up and picking on our 9th grader, DJ Durr.
Yep, got Javian Thompson in as well. Most of the guys I've mentioned are sophomores getting their first action tonight, number 62.
And the Tide going to run their field goal unit out. Try to get a rep here for the field goal unit. It's going to be held at the 14-yard line. Going to be a 24-yard attempt off the foot of Edgar Cruz. Cruz 2 for 3 on the year on field goals. Of course, his long a week ago, that was a 41-yarder, Rick.
That was a big one, too.
Yes, it was. It came on a great hold by Rayburn. Cruz, they're going to say, go ahead and back him up. Let's make it a little bit more of an adventure.
Oh, he won't mind that.
5-yard extra as they get the Tide for an infraction. Going to take a 24-yarder and turn it into a 29-yarder. Middle of the field. Good snap here. A nice hold by Rayburn. And they've looked at each other a few times to say it's good tonight. They'll do it again. Tide gonna get it to a 59-21 score as that was well struck. None of these are a mystery tonight with Cruz on the PAT or that extra point. He is crushing the ball. Tonight is Eddie Cruz. Edgar Cruz in your program. Plays offensive line for the Tide, Rick. But boy, Tide have been blessed with some great kickers over this really good stretch of football, as that was a 29-yard field goal by Cruz. He's now 3 for 4 on the year. He's edged close to that 20 touchback here on these kickoffs. He's gotten a lot of opportunities tonight, Rick. He's going to tee it up from his own 40 once again.
He has, and boy, it's great for these kids. Got to see a lot of new numbers and faces, some 9th graders. Played a full season and got promoted to the varsity team. Got to see Jett run the football.
Yeah.
17 yards on 2 carries for him. And been all Maroon Tide here in the second half. 3 straight scoring drives. That last one was a 29-yard field goal by Cruz. Had a 36-yard touchdown run by Ghana. And Zay Dennis started off the second half with a 65-yard touchdown. Boy, he has been some kind of good tonight.
And guess what Cruz did while you were discussing that, Rick? Boomed it through the end zone again. Another touchback.
Is that what? Let's go at 9 and 10 in a row?
Man, he had one that was like a little squibber line drive. I think it was by design after a 5-yard penalty. But other than that, it's been all touchbacks from Cruz tonight. Here's Canaan hooking up with Robinson. Robinson catches it at the 30. He'll advance it to the 32-yard line. Tide should have some fresh faces in on that defensive side as well. See Grant Hodges out there.
See Kenny Baker.
Kenny Baker for the time. We'll try to get the names and numbers listed as we go. Canaan's got it. He spun it a couple times and lets it go. Same route, same result. Robinson makes the catch.
Got Kendall Malley at linebacker.
That was McGill in coverage, able to make the tackle against Robinson after the catch. 1st and 10 for the Hawks at the 44. Tide to put up a 59 spot tonight, leading at 59-21.
Markel McGill in at linebacker. Did you call him? Can't remember if you called that name or not.
It won't hurt of McGill to get it twice. Here's a shotgun formation. Canaan under all kinds of pressure, going to be able to get it away, though. He's got such a good clock in his head and when to release the football. He really gets rid of it just in time. I believe that was Ryan Helm with the pressure of the quarterback.
Yep, Chris Martinez in there as well, number 66.
Yeah, that was Martinez. Good catch by you. That's the one I wanted to point out was Chris Martinez, a junior, 5'10", 228. Neat to see the.
Well, I needed that. I needed to redeem myself. I had Brady throwing a touchdown pass.
Look, it's not out of the realm of possibility. You put up 59. Bring guys back out of retirement. You've kept up with a lot of stuff tonight, man. Shotgun formation. Pressure again. Canaan going to look at this play. Going to direct his wide receiver into open space and then just pepper him with it. Beautiful from Canaan. Literally saw the defensive back look him in the eyes, and when he did, he told his wide receiver, hey, your guy's looking at me, so why don't you just run forward and I'll give you this football. And just a beautiful play by Canaan as he's going to toss it for a touchdown to Favre. But Canaan's something to look at.
Yeah, he is, Clay. And that's, look, the reserve group coming in against a really good athlete. They put a lot of pressure on him, made him move. They played well, but that's a lot to ask from a reserve secondary group to have the discipline to stay at home when he comes up. I mean, you're going to get him. But just a heady play by him.
Yeah, he doesn't get sped up either, Rick. Like, he's got a real good clock when pressure's on him of just kind of keeping a play alive. And there, the poor defensive back steps to him, and then he's able to just throw it right over his head. It was kind of like a one-on-one or a two-on-one basketball play out here wide. And a beautiful hand motion to move forward. So the Hawks going to get 28 on the board after their PAT. Off the foot of Trahan's good. Trahan's been good for them tonight in the kick game. A good kicker for the Hawks. Back and forth action. So Hancock going to go 1-2 over in Pearl River County play. As Poplarville and Picayune going to get the best of the Hawks. They were able to get the district win against Pearl River Central, which helps them in the playoff race when you look at that win a week ago. They're going to be a tough out with Canaan at quarterback. I truly believe that.
Yep.
Probably going to beat a team or two that you shouldn't when you've got a quarterback playing the way that he does. Here's an onside kick by the Hawks. See who's got it. There's a scramble forward on the 48-yard line. Hawks are celebrating. No indication, no direction at all from this crew. Just going to let kids unpile themselves. I mean, look at this, Rick. Like, you've got to get in there as a grown-up and help the pile be unshuffled and give some direction on who's got the football. They finally will say the Tide have it after a Hawk comes out of the pile with it. Coach King pretty much bewildered on the sideline. I could not blame him. Either staff, like they just.
Yeah, that was an interesting one. Got a few score updates, Clay, for our listeners. We'll start with Poplarville Hornets, of course, in their region play like us, taking on South Pike Eagles. They're up 48-24 in the third quarter. And then we've got Pearl River Central Blue Devils all over Gaucher in the third quarter, 17-0, and Pascagoula Panthers 41, Long Beach 7.
That's a real good response by Pearl River Central after a tough loss last week to be able to come back and do that this week against Gaucher.
Yeah, pitching a shutout at this point in the game on Gaucher, that's something to be proud of for the Devils.
Just a reminder, that final home game will be a Thursday night affair. That will be against the Blue Devils here. So Ty going to take this show on the road, and, of course, we'll follow him right along. We'll go to Long Beach next week. We'll go to Gaucher the week after. Here's a shot taken by Canaan to Robinson, and it's incomplete. What coverage provided there. That was well done. Beautiful
Juju Johnson
play by Johnson. Able to deflect that and knock it down.
I thought the receiver had a couple of steps on him, but, boy, he caught up quick.
He did. That was a nice
close.
flash of speed and good hands by Johnson. So 2nd and 10, ball at the 49. As they're going to say, Hancock, I guess, did get the onside kick after further discussion. Canaan still keeps the play alive, looking to take a shot. Now finally he'll just throw it down. Just spikes it out of bounds about 3 yards in front of him.
Boy, good pressure, though, again, by these reserve Tide defensive players.
And I apologize to our listeners. We went to your score update. I had Picayune with the ball. We came out with Hancock after they figured out who got the onside kick. But that will do it. That was the final snap. As Ty going to take this one tonight, 59-28 over the visiting Hawks. Tide will go to 2-0 in district play. Will run its overall record out to 6-1. The Hawks will drop their record down to 2-5 overall. 1-1 now in district play, but Tide get that district record out, Rick, to a perfect 2-0. Continue that district winning streak to 26. That stats courtesy of Matt Stats and Coast Football. He normally does a post-game wrap. You'll find Matt Stats and Coast Football out on the Facebook machine. Go look at him and the work that he puts in. But a big win here tonight, Slick, as the Tide going to win this one 59-28 over the visiting Hawks.
Yeah, the Tide started out dominant, and then, boy, things got interesting in the first half. Hancock scoring on 3 out of their 4 of their last possessions, and the most impressive and what really gave them a ray of hope was that 61-yard run by Canaan with 4 seconds on the clock. They had one play left, and he pulls it and does it with his feet. That made it 42-21 at the half, but Picayune gets the ball to start the game. Zay Dennis takes it 65 yards for a touchdown, make it 49-21. And then Agana goes in from 36 yards out after Hancock punts on their first possession to make it 56-21. Eddie Cruz added a 29-yard field goal. And then Canaan hits Favre really in mop-up time, to be fair, to make it 59-28. And that's how we ended tonight.
Yes, we did. And, man, great job by you. You allowed me to go take care of something personal there at the half, and so I certainly appreciate you sliding over and doing that. And then, Rick, these rushing stats for the Tide tonight, just spectacular on the ground and then through the air as well. It was really a complete, awesome offensive performance for our Picayune Maroon Tide here on our Exotic Stones and Pearl River Community College postgame show. I'll let you speak to those numbers and what the Tide were able to get done offensively tonight.
Yeah, you look at the scoring drives. Jordan Hawthorne had 4 rushes, 94 yards, 2 touchdowns. Also threw in one reception for 10 yards. Zay Dennis, though, on the night, 15 for 322, 3 touchdowns. Tack on a 65-yard touchdown on top of that. He was knocking on the 400-yard mark for total yards on the night. Then you had Agana, who went in from with one carry, 36 yards for a touchdown. You had Wilkins, who had a 27-yard touchdown. And, boy, just all as a unit on the night. And just for our listeners, I mean, we've got a score sheet made here that's built in the file that we use. Hard to get accurate stuff for these young guys when they come in, but you add another 30, 35 yards to that. I know just alone that one of the youngsters had 17 rushes on 2 carries. So looking at without that, we were 22 rushes, 458 yards, 6 touchdowns on the ground, and then 2 in the air. That's a 20-yard per carry average. Zay had 21.5 yards per carry. Hawthorne had 23.5. And then Cole Robertson was great tonight, 4 of 6 for 102 yards and 2 touchdowns. One of those receptions didn't really count for anything because it was the tackle was made on a short gain there for no gain, but he was good with the ball tonight. Threw a beauty to Zay Dennis, as we mentioned, that 65-yard one. Hit Wilkins for a good one as well. So he's been great. 4 of 6 on the night, just overall dominance here for the Maroon Tide. Again, you can't ever count an athlete like Kenan out when he's got a chance. I think his composure, down 21-0 and to lead a scoring drive with guys in his face to hit connect on the screen. Really, he kept his team going, but Maroon Tide offense just too much tonight.
Yeah, man, too much is a good way to put it. I'm going to ask you to do it one more time, Slick. Our Farm Bureau Player of the Week nominee from our crew will be Zay Dennis. Let's give his rushing stats and then throw in that catch as well. Let's give our Farm Bureau Player of the Week stat line for Mr. Zay Dennis. Rick, we've been on the call for Dowdell, for Davis, for Darrell. This stat line, though, is a bit different. I don't know that we've been on the call together for 322.
It is different, and this is why it's different. This number, 15, is what makes it different. So 15 for 322 yards and 3 touchdowns, 1 reception, 65 yards and a touchdown. That puts him for 387 all-purpose yards and 4 touchdowns on the night. Mr. Dennis was dominant tonight.
Man, I don't know who the date is for the homecoming dance after, but just an incredible night for Zay Dennis.
Did take a lot of hits. Yeah,
I mean, he boogied over here all night as he was incredible, was Zay Dennis, to the tune of the Tide winning this one on homecoming 59-28. Any final thoughts for you, Slick?
Yeah, I just want to mention, too, like I think we would agree, like our rib-cracking play of the game was going to be Mr. Wilson, and the hit he had on Hopgood back here was pretty incredible. And, again, that's another young man who stepped up. He had to have double-digit tackles tonight, had a few sacks, and
had a bunch of them when it still mattered, too.
Had a bunch of them when it still mattered, had a lot of tackles for losses, and we mentioned in our pregame, Kenan only been sacked 3 times all year.
Yeah, that's a good point. And Nolan Wilson really wrecked the game on those first couple drives, allowed the Tide to get out to that 21-0 advantage. The first 3 and out, he made the first 2 plays defensively for the Tide, and just an all-around great performance. You mentioned Stonewall's rib cracking. We've got a backlog of those. We've got to get those cards out to the youngsters that have won them week in and week out. Tide get that record of 6-1, 2-0 in district play. We'll take the show on the road next week. We'll be at Long Beach. We'll visit with Long Beach's new head coach early in the week next week, as we always do on our preview podcast. Greg Ducker and Darren Uzel down there gathering information and interviews for our post-game pod, as Shesby is up being the swim coach, as he has been all season long, has been for a couple years now. We wish them the best of luck in their competition tomorrow. Band's got competition as well. Just one last reminder of the car wash for the men's soccer club there at Bilo Auto Parts. That's in the morning here in Picayune. So for the final time tonight, Tide take it over Hancock 59-28. Till you hear from us again, love God, love people.